transactions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The largest city in the Rocky Mountains has joined the growing list of communities taking action against the tobacco industry. More from CBS's Jim Krasula.
City council members in Denver, Colorado have voted to ban the sale of flavored tobacco products, including e-cigarettes, menthol cigarettes, vapes, and other nicotine and tobacco products. Gordon Rousseau owns a vape shop in suburban Aurora, Colorado.
I've only seen myself, as well as many testimonials from other customers, how it benefits their lives and how it's changed their lives for health reasons.
Supporters of the ban say it will keep nicotine products away from teenagers and young adults. Opponents say it will destroy small local businesses. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
NASA's two stuck astronauts, Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, just got their mission on the International Space Station extended until spring, 10 months after rocketing into orbit on Boeing's Starliner capsule. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Hi, everyone. If you or someone you know were diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, listen up, because you could be entitled to significant compensation. We have legal professionals standing by right now to take your call, and they'll tell you if you qualify for a cash settlement. Call 800-570-0200. That's 800-570-0200. Call now and find out how much money you could potentially get.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center, may not be available in all states.
This is the famous footwear that everyone has on their holiday wish list. So don't wait to make it famous. Whether you're searching for their favorite character shoes or the hottest sneakers, slippers, and boots, Famous Footwear has the newest styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, Timberland, and more. Unwrap Famous today and make everyone's holidays merry with buy one, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
It just works. Wave 105 FM.
It is 2:07 p.m. and that is your time check brought to you by Wendy's. Soft drinks are just $1 at Wendy's. Any size, anytime. Take a soft drink break anytime and get what you want at Wendy's. For a limited time only, excludes prepackaged beverages, sweet tea, unsweetened tea, coffee, cold brew, and Dave's Craft lemonades. Not valid in a combo.
Happy holidays from Pat's Tinting and Detailing. Gift certificates available for the perfect present. Visit us today and spread the cheer. Come in and make your holiday brighter with Pat's Tinting and Detailing. Call 647-SLAM for more information.
Happy holidays from Wave 105 FM. Stay tuned and when prompted, be the first to answer our stocking stuffer trivia question. And you get to choose a stocking. Best part is you get to take home whatever's inside it too. Stay tuned and win big this holiday season. Your Wave 105 stocking stuffers are brought to you by Burger King, Lotte Hotel, TGI Fridays, the Guam Reef Hotel, KFC, the Riga Royal Laguna Guam Resort, Manang Picas, and the station bringing you the holiday sound of Guam, Wave 105 FM.
Merry Christmas!
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup at your convenience or delivery right to your doorstep. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good To Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Good afternoon. You are tuned into the Wave 105.1 FM on the Brightside with our guest host, Mayor Melissa Savares, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can listen to us on our website, thewave105.com, or watch us live on YouTube, Wave 105 Guam. If you want to reach us on the line, please call us at 671-922-1051 or 1052. You can also text us on WhatsApp at 671-922-1051. The Brightside is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. GTA, we start with you. Subway, eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at subwaypacific.com for pickup at your convenience or for delivery right at your doorstep. Online ordering at subwaypacific.com is powered by Good to Go, We Deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh. Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Craving Italian? Swing by Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Dive into our super pizza, enjoy creamy spaghetti carbonara, or savor the rich fettuccine alfredo. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Taste the best of Italy today at Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside. Slow traffic on Route 16 if you're coming from the overpass heading to the intersection near the Harmon McDonald's restaurant. Slow traffic on Route 3 in Dededo if you're passing the GRMC hospital heading to the intersection on Route 1. Slow traffic on Route 1 northbound and Route 27 in Dededo if you're at the intersection that's near the flea market. Slow traffic on Route 1 northbound in Jigo in front of the McDonald's restaurant. Slow traffic on Route 4 in Sinahania if you're coming from Hagåtña heading to the intersection near the Central Precinct. And now for your traffic advisory for the week from today, Wednesday, December 18th to Friday, December 20th, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14B and on the sidewalk into Manning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside. Just a few more days until Christmas, and you know what that means. Stay tuned for those giveaways because we are doing a stocking stuffer here on Wave 105, sponsored by Burger King, Guam Reef Hotel, Savares, KFC, Coast 360, TGI Fridays, Loti Hotel, Vince Jewelers, Riga Royal Laguna, Guam. And today we are giving away a $25 gift certificate to TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. All you have to do is answer a multiple choice trivia question. First person to answer correctly will be the winner. Be sure to stay tuned for the 4 o'clock hour for the giveaway. And now for our show, The Bright Side.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Hafa Day, good afternoon, Guam. My name is Melissa Savares. I am the mayor of Dededo for a few more days. I'd like to thank Isa for running the boards there so that we can be on the radio today.
Yes, of course.
I'm actually filling in for Polly Suba, who's filling in for Patty Arroyo. But our topics today are, I'm going to be talking to a few local authors to talk about literacy and how they got their ideas to start writing the books that they wrote and who their target audience is. And a lot of them are children's literacy, children's books, teachers who actually teach our elementary school children and middle school children, and then in our GDOE system. And so, of course, we want, they're not just teachers that go to school every day and just do the work in their schools, in their respective school campuses, but they're also, they do more than just that. They take care of after-school activities. They engage their students in service learning at the level of the secondary level. But then they also go deeper into that. They spend more time also molding the minds and bringing the creativity of their students out to create stories about their environment, about their families, and just the imagination that our young children have in all over the world and on our island. And so today we'll be speaking with a few teachers a few educators who've actually written books. And one in particular, the Mad Studio, the author, Mr. Francis Labrador, and he'll be in studio with me shortly. But Mr. Labrador did a comic book, and it depicts our different warriors on Guam and the Northern Marianas. And, our children like to read comics. They like the superheroes. And so his book, the Aniti, the Gatherings, it depicts different warriors and, about the different types. They talked about the Tautamona tree, the ancient Tautaus. They talk about the ceremonial chants of the dead. And then they have translations for these different chapters in the Chamorro language. Something that I'm, really, when I first saw the book, I said, wow, this is interesting. And, to bring culture and our history, our ancient history, back to the minds of our young children. They hear stories of our legends that are told when they, during their Chamorro classes. And they, when if you visit the museum, you'll hear different types of stories of, especially when you're touring an area where there's the Lati stones, the Lati formations. They talk about the reverence that we need to respect the area, and respeto is a big thing in our culture, in our Chamorro culture. So in this book that Mr. Labrador did, and he had a lot of help with it from other educators who edited, who helped with illustration, and even depicting the stories in audio is very impressive. And they've really gone a long way to depict what we have in his this edition of this book that he did. So I'm very proud, one, he's not only an educator in our high schools, but he also helps different organizations with artwork. And then, I know that he's also helping the Lions Club doing a mural in the Derrida village, in the Lensuk Park. And so his work goes beyond the classroom. And that's why I want to kind of highlight what teachers, our educators here on Guam do, is that they don't just confine themselves to their work in lesson plans and what they do in the school setting, but there's so much wide array of things that they do throughout the entire community. And I just want to welcome Mr. Francis Labrador, who is an educator at John F. Kennedy High School. And he has so much. I'm so happy to be an owner of his recent book, The Aniti, the Gathering. Welcome, Mr. Lab.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Hafa day. And so, I was talking about this, today's shows for the 4 hours, I have different authors, children authors coming in. But, I'm very impressed when I met you at my office a few weeks ago, and, you're at the flea market on weekends. You were at the mall, and you've been to GPO as well, right?
Not yet. I'm planning to. I just inquired and trying to figure out how to set it up, because it's a unique place to set up stuff.
Right. But, like I said, you're not just a high school teacher. You've gone beyond that, and you've touched different areas throughout, outside of the classroom setting, where, this was your dream to put this book together. And I know you're working on your next book, right? And I saw it took you 5 years to complete this. But of course, that's working with, you have a dream, right? And you have, ideas and you want to go forth. But what was really impressive is that you used our ancient warriors, our legends, our, the heroes of our legends, right? In this book. And, even my grandson who's in middle school looks at it and says, wow, it's just like one of those Marvel cartoon books, right? But the stories really relate to home, and which was really impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so, the stories, as a matter of fact, a few Sundays ago, I met you at the flea market. And then on the same time, I met Mr. Sablan and Mrs. Sablan. And Mr. Sablan was the one that actually did the vocal of the stories in Chamorro. And they were telling me that the day that you were at the mall, you had it playing in the audio in the speaker at the Micronesia Mall.
Yes.
And people were calling them saying, are you guys here? Because we can hear Greg's voice, right? And she says, well, Mr. Labrador might be there because he's promoting the book.
Yes.
Yeah, so, it's exciting. And so your ideas, and I'm sure that you introduce these kind of things to your students as well, right? And you tell them to dream big. And how is it affecting you in the classroom with with the work that you do with your students? Have you seen them excel?
I've always, whenever I see students, especially talented ones, I try to encourage them to whatever they like. Some projects they have like a storybook. There was one of the producers here, Eric Jung. He had a story, and he had a bunch of he did some animation projects and so forth, and storyboard making, and I noticed that he's really passionate about it, and it reminded me of me when I was back in my high school years. I always illustrated stories. I made stories up, and then I would illustrate them, and then I would encourage him, hey, continue that passion and proceed to trying to get it come to life. But of course, life hits, and when I met him again, he told me that he's going to the military and so forth. But I know eventually he's going to go back to the story writing and his projects, and hopefully, like me, he would execute it and let people be more aware of his project, his stories. Yeah, that's an example.
That's an example of one, right? A student that just minds, and like you said, it's something that you have the passion to do, but sometimes our path takes us in a different direction, right? And then I was just reading in the newspaper where someone who finally graduated from the university with a bachelor's degree said, after high school, college was not her thing, but she joined the National Guard and said, you know what, I need to go back. And she really wasn't in it at the beginning, right? But when she realized where she can go after that, after she gets her degree, and the paths are open, and just like receiving a high school diploma, you have different paths. But where is your passion? And sometimes, we need to get a job because we need to support ourselves. We need to support our families in a case, if you have a family. But at the same time, that was not what you thought you were going to do. We thought we were going to elaborate on this and go to something. But it can always be a hobby, which this was for you at the beginning, but then you pushed yourself to complete it. At the same time, you were still in the classroom, molding those young minds, but you continue to encourage those that you see that has those talents, right?
I want to state that the book is not for educational purposes.
Right.
It's meant to entertain. It's meant for people to enjoy and appreciate not just the Guam myths and legends, but also the story itself and the characters that I'm trying to bring to life in the book. And that's my sole purpose. People thought that I was trying to educate.
No, it's not something that you won't use in the classroom.
Yeah, but there's some Chamorro teachers said that they're willing to use it for resources as a as a read, as a read for students when during their off times, and it's I really I just noticed that culture is slowly dissipating, not just in Guam but all over the world because of technology nowadays. TikTok is being overwhelmed with like dances, and people are forgetting their old the roots and their culture. They're getting into the new wave of K-pop dancing music and hip hop. They're slowly going to drown their identity. They're going to become assimilated into this new culture that's being introduced, and I see it in my classrooms. I see them. I see students doing TikTok dances during lunchtime, and I don't know why, but it's just a common thing now. So it's just one of those reasons why I introduced the book, is because I want them to still be aware of their culture, and in a more creative approach, where students, like, if you notice my artwork, they have a little bit of anime in there.
Yes.
Anime style, yeah, and a little bit more comic related or cartoon style.
Yes.
So I'm trying to cater to their interests as well. I didn't want to make it too old-fashioned style artwork where it doesn't really attract them. So that's my main goal, is to just help. It's not just Guam culture, but I found a way to assimilate all the myths and legends of different cultures.
Right.
In the book.
Right. And so you know what? And we talk about our history, right? You talked about different things. And one thing that impressed me is you went back to things that we identified with our culture. The Surohanu Society. That's not just a culture of the Chamorro people. The Surohanus you go back to Taiwan, they're going back to the Surohanus, herbal medicines. The Philippines does the same thing. Our plants and our vegetables and things that we grow in our yard, grass, certain kind of grass is herbal, right? And it has a different medicinal use. So it's not just the Chamorro culture or the culture of the Marianas. This is a culture, even the Japanese. They say, why do Japanese live till they're 112 when they're living in the mountains? Because they're living off the land, right? And so they don't have any chemicals in their foods. And the Surohanu Society, when I was reading this, I said, wow, this depicts all cultures that live here in Guam, to include those of the FSM Islands, right? Because there was one day when I saw somebody near the the daug tree, and I said, what are they doing? Are they carving the tree? And I actually stopped and I talked to the gentleman, and he says, no, we have a skin problem. And so the bark of the tree, they use the bark and the sap, they use as medicine. And, I said, here we're using the seeds to make jewelry, right? Or to play something, kick it, right? But, every plant that's out there throughout our islands, and we're surrounded by ocean, but we're all island people. And there's different things that are on our islands, plants, that are traditional healing. It was not the modern healing of the Western doctors, right? Everything was going, and we see that today, where we're going back to traditional teachings, traditional healings. And in this particular story, I said, that brings all the traditions of all the cultures here together, right? And then the Halitai. What's a Halitai? That's our iguana, but our iguanas are not just, here in the Marianas. It's all over, but some look different because they have the longer, they have like the dragon tops or whatever, but it's the Halitai, they all serve the same purpose, right? And no matter where they're at.
So that's the actual story. That's the actual myth and legend from the boy who spoke to the lizard. Right. Yeah, and then I had him. I made him grow up here in this storyline, and it allowed him to speak with the other lizards and be able to. That's why he's called the Hilitai King.
Right.
He's able to command them. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then the different things that you have and you depict in your book relates. I really like this, the Makanan order.
Yeah.
It tells you the different levels, right? Of your different warriors, and
so those are more of the sorcerers.
Right.
They're the opposite of the Surahanu, where they use their power for force.
Right.
And other things.
The way that the superheroes, remember, in the comic books, right? They have the sorcerer of fire, the sorcerer of water.
So in those characters, they have if you can see, I made the person Langet. He's of the skies.
Right.
And then I have Fayman. He's more of the prideful warrior. Malangu is the sickness.
Right.
Sickness sorcerer.
The Malangu one, right? Yeah.
And Fanaitai is death. Yeah.
Right.
And Kakno is gluttony.
Yeah, and this, it depicts. I mean, for younger children, the high school, and middle school kids, it's like a superhero book to them, right? But what's different is it also depicts the many cultures and the many traditions that we have throughout our islands. And so, it's something that I was really proud. I sent a book out to my niece and nephew in the States, and my niece, their mother, actually said, "I'm going to keep this for me. I'm not." I said, "No, it's for your family. It's a family book, because she's learning stuff from it, right?" But then it brings her back to especially when you have the Huraus, you talk about Taga. She's familiar with the Taga in the Taga laddies in Rhoda, and so she says it was really a eye opener, because it talks about different parts of our culture and then the different things. But and like you said, it's not a book that you would use as a part of your curriculum. It's mostly, okay, after you're done with your lessons, you do reading time, and then the students it's a silent reading, and then they can share what they thought about each of the stories, right? And then it gives them the imagination. Oh, I can do this. If Mr. Lab can do this, I can do it too, right?
So the main purpose of this book is to provide a backstory for my upcoming comic book project called The Gai Tau Tau Legacy. And in that comic book, that's more of a modern take, modern storyline, what's happening right now. There's ITC building, you're going to be involved with it. There's the concept behind there. For Rock, it's going to be a center of interest in this storyline. It's going to be, I'm going to illustrate it in the modern day times. But the backstory, the Aniti, the Gathering, is meant for people to understand how they got there, how they got their powers. And this is all a fictional story. I just found a way to put the missing edges together to make the story even come to life. Especially since I lived there I was born and raised there since my entire lifetime, and I grew up with myths and legends. And my mom was a Surahana. She used a faith healer.
Medicinal healing. And
I really believed in spirits. That's why I named this book Aniti, the Gathering. Aniti means spirits, ancestral spirits, or spirits of the ancients.
Okay, so Mr. Lab, we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back to the discussions of the book. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
President-elect Trump started his week with a news conference.
At a freewheeling news conference in South Florida, Donald Trump says he thinks his choice for defense secretary will get enough support from the Senate to be confirmed, despite reports of sexual misbehavior and a drinking problem.
I think Pete Hegseth is making tremendous strides over the last week.
On his choice of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Health and Human Services Secretary,
I think he's going to be much less radical than you would think.
Trump says that even though Kennedy's lawyer has asked the FDA to revoke approval for the polio vaccine, which has been around for decades.
I think everything should be looked at, but I'm a big believer in the polio vaccine, the Salk vaccine.
Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
A Senate committee says internal Amazon studies has found a relationship between worker speed and injuries in Amazon warehouses. The Senate report says Amazon rejected safety recommendations so as not to affect productivity. Amazon says the report is, quote, wrong on the facts. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by right now. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-750-2700. That's 800-750-2700. Call now to find out how much your case could be worth.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Something magical happens when you unbox the best of British TV with BritBox. Stream acclaimed series starring Olivia Colman, Idris Elba, Sophie Turner, Matthew McFadden, and more of Britain's brightest talent. See what's inside, discover something remarkable, and uncover what perhaps you were looking for all along. Unbox BritBox and stream the best of British TV. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
Buenas and Hafa Day. EduQuentus is now every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tune in at 105.1 Wave FM to listen to EduQuentus. EduQuentus is a special initiative by Guam Department of Education dedicated to shining the light on the incredible achievements of our students, teachers, and staff. Once again, join us on Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Wave 105.1, the sound of Guam.
This holiday season, fill your loved one's stockings with a Subway Holiday Gift Card. Receive a free 6-inch sub for every $25 Subway gift card purchase. Promo ends December 31st. Free 6-inch subs are redeemable through January 31st, 2025 only. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Hafa Day. This is Melvin Wampat Borja. I'm the Executive Director from the Commission on Decolonization, and I'd like to invite you to join us every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to noon for Challenge the Status Quo, where we will explore conversations around decolonization, political self-determination, and Guam's political status on Wave 105.1 FM.
Hey, what's going on, Guam? Dicey Dice here, and I'm inviting you to join me on Power 98 Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. all the way to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We are covering anything and everything from entertainment, headlines. We are doing sports, giveaways, and more. And don't forget, the show is all being brought to you by Riga Royal Laguna Guam Resort, McDonald's. I'm loving it. Shouts out going out to Vitali's Italian Restaurant, Wise Owl Animal Hospital, Lotte Hotel, and Golf Espresso. Rolling with Dice in the middays, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock on Power 98 FM.
Get ready for an exciting afternoon with me, Ed Suarez, on the Ed Suarez Live Show, Monday through Friday. Tune in for your daily dose of motivation that will kickstart your drive, a self-care corner to nurture your soul, and stay tuned for the games and giveaways. The Ed Suarez Live Show is brought to you by Pure Swing Golf, FHB Health Center, Burger King, Rotary Sushi, GTA, Rui Spa, and Live House Guam. Tune in to Ed Suarez Live on Power 98.
You work all day. Nights are for relaxing. Tune in Monday through Thursday for Light Nights here on Wave 105 FM. Designed to help you chill and forget about the stresses of your day. The wave doesn't stop, but it sure can slow down. It's Light Nights, Monday through Thursday nights till midnight only here on the Sound of Guam. Wave 105 FM.
Hi, I'm Silas, and I'm 10 years old. Man, things are crazy these days. Why can't it be like 10 years ago? The milk was good, everyone carried me everywhere, and the music was awesome. Maybe milk's $12 a gallon now, and nobody can lift me. But we can bring the music back.
Oh, you wanted it, and now you got it. All the hits from the 2000s back on the radio. Every afternoon starting at noon with Maximum Millennium. Maximum Millennium, only here on the Sound of Guam, Wave 105.1 FM. Hafa day, everybody, it's me, Kyle Mandapat.
Hafa day, it's Reese.
And we want you to tune into the Morning Blender every single day.
That's right, there's a lot of things to do. Parties, birthdays to celebrate, songs to play, and of course some horoscopes if you're trying to find out about your day.
And plenty of free stuff too.
That's right, all the free food and so much more.
So tune in to the Morning Blender weekday 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. right here on
Power 98.
Presented by Burger King,
Aganya Shopping Center,
Subway,
Pat's Tinting and Detailing,
and Chili's.
One pill can kill. Fake pills often contain fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl, equivalent to a few grains of salt, to be lethal. Fake pills are often sold on social media platforms, making them available to anyone with a smartphone.
Talk early and often to youth about the dangers of misusing prescription drugs and the lethal dangers of counterfeit drugs laced with fentanyl.
Stay informed, stay safe. One pill can kill.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the radio stations of Glimpses Media Group, Wave 105 FM and Power 98.
Hafa day, Guam. Johnny Atulai here, inviting you to tune in to Vet Talk Show every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the wave of conversation where Miss Bobby and I address veterans' concerns and benefits for you, only on Wave 105.1 FM.
Just a few more days until Christmas, and you know what that means. Stay tuned for those giveaways because we are doing a Wave 105 stocking stuffer sponsored by Burger King, Guam Reef Hotel, Savares, KFC, Coast 360, TGI Fridays, Loti Hotel, Vince Jewelers, and Riga Royal Laguna, Guam. Today we are giving away a $25 gift certificate to TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, and all you have to do is answer a multiple choice trivia question. First person to answer correctly will be the winner. Be sure to stay tuned for the 4 o'clock hour for the giveaway. And now for your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside. Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside. Slow traffic on Route 4 in Hagåtña in between the intersections near the Chief Kapua Park and the Aganya Library. Slow traffic on Route 1 into Muning north and southbound at the intersection that leads to Route 30. Slow traffic on Route 1 into Muning north and southbound at the intersection that leads to Route 14 or near the ITC building. Slow traffic on Route 1 to Muning northbound if you're coming from the intersection that leads to Route 14B, heading to the intersection that leads to Route 10A. Slow traffic on Route 10A into Muning if you're coming from the intersection on Route 1, heading over to the intersection in front of the Guam Airport. And now for your traffic advisory for the week from today, Wednesday, December 18th to Friday, December 20th. Between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14, Challenge San Antonio into Muning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Hafa day, good afternoon. Thank you for coming back and listening. I'm Mayor Melissa Savares, and I'm here as a guest host today, covering for Polly Suba on the Brightside. Okay, thank you. And my guest today is Mr. Francis Labrador, who's an educator at John F. Kennedy High School, but he's here because he is the author of the Aniti the Gathering, a book, comic book, similar with heroes of local heroes of our legends, and so we were talking before the break about the Surahanos, Surahana, and you mentioned that your mom, Surahanas are known to be the traditional healers, and you depicted the Surahana here in the book, and as a traditional healers before the healing, the medicines, the doctors were brought to Guam, right, or to the islands. Traditional healing was the method of doctoring ourselves here with the Surohanas. And so, of course, Mr. Lab, what are your other influences? You talked about your mom being a Surohana and how it was traditional healing. Were there others that also influenced you on the stories or the legends, and you did research, right?
So around 2018, before COVID, I got a grant to do a kids art workshop at the Ganyan Library, and the workshop had correlated myths and legends together, Guam myths and legends, and they had to apply it into their artwork, and so that's where it started to where I started to do my research, more research on the myths and legends. Although I know a little bit about it, I had to know a lot more so that I can teach it and present it to the kids so that they can put it into their artwork, and that's where everything started to grow. I started to gain knowledge of it. I got more interested in it. I started designing characters off the side. I didn't know where I was going with it. I just started drawing characters because I enjoyed the myths and legends. So these are my characters of the myths and legends and so forth. It wasn't until near the end of like around last year where I realized I could create a good storyline for this. That's where I started the story of the NET, the gathering. So it was all over the place, and then I managed to put everything together. And the reason why I got motivated was because one of my friends is also a teacher at JFK. His name is Sonny Chargaloff. He released his comic book. It's called Tautamona, and it reminded me, hey, that's his characters, and I have characters. I want to do something like that too. So I want to do a comic book because I was drawn into his comic book. I was reading through it, and I enjoyed the visuals. And you go, you know what? I think people are gonna like this if I create something similar, because I'm liking it so much too. So that's where it also started. The motivation to do the comic book was because a colleague of mine, when he introduced it to the public, released it, I got fascinated. I even got one from him.
So you were inspired.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's a colleague of yours, and you say, because you're at the same level, that you also had inspiration to move forward, and you did your own research. You saw when you did the art competition among the students that there was so much potential for growth in both the students and in yourself, right? So that's why we're always happy to know that people like you are still in the classroom educating our students and opening those minds and those doors and the opportunities, and it opened an opportunity for you as well. So this is great news, and we know that there's more that you're going to open and present next year, another book that you're working on, but you're going to be promoting this as well.
So I did a soft launch on October 19th. That's my soft launch, just to see if people would enjoy the book. I just want to see if there's a positive or negative impact, and I got an overwhelming positive impact as of that result, forcing me to officially launch it next year, because I want to really launch it and be legit. I had to apply for the Guam product seal because they told me that since I printed it here, I can qualify for that. So I did. And then I got it approved, and then Gita's going to now help me in the process and trying to make my product known as well. So they're gonna assist me since I'm a member. They'll try to help for some way, whatever possible, to promote it.
Great. And so while you're promoting that, you'll continue to teach and continue to mold and grow younger people that you work with on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
But then as well as your colleagues, right?
It's just harder. You're passionate about two things, like teaching and art. I do my art like midnight, late nights. Sometimes I only sleep 4 hours a day, 3 hours, because I don't have time for it. I have to grade. People always think that teachers we only work like 6 hours or whatever hours that the school time. No, it's beyond that. We grading takes at least 2 to 3 hours a day just to do stuff and lesson planning. So yeah, it's not an easy job where we just collect hours and when we log off, that's it. No, we do it outside and we have to call parents. We have to do all these extra stuff, bookkeeping and communication. So, but yeah, that overwhelms me. But at the same time, I want to also the passion because of my passion of the comic books. It doesn't tire me out because when you're passionate, you don't really pay attention to those things. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So I noted even with your artwork, you're going to be working with you are working with the Guam Laddie Stones Lions Club on a mural with another student that's from
I think St. John's.
St. John's, and you're working together with that student to put that mural at the
I'm not
wall.
sure what school though.
Okay.
Santa Barbara, St. John's?
St. John's.
Okay,
St.
okay.
John's. You're right. And so with that, there's actually a ribbon cutting for that project on Sunday in Dedido at the Lenchut Park. So, I want to congratulate you because, you're not just working with your students at JFK, but also a partner with a student that the Guam Laddie Stone Lions Club also asked for help from. And so it's your work and that student's work.
That design is actually a piece contest that the student won, second place I believe, out of the overall Lions Club competition. And it's being we're just transferring it onto the wall. We don't, since they want it fast because they don't have a time frame. It's like running. It's almost time.
Yeah.
We just had to compromise the design a little bit, and because I had to do it on the spot, I would draw it out for them because the grading part takes a long time to do the mural. So it takes a while, and plus the student had to do the work, but since it's inexperienced, I'm doing most of it. Yeah, so it could be faster. Otherwise, it's gonna take almost how many more weeks before it's done. But yeah, I'm trying to finish it. I'm coming in again tomorrow to fix up the mural, and then on Saturday to finalize it. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you because, it's not just educators are not, like I said earlier, educators are not just in the classroom. They're out making a difference, not just working with their students, but also working with your colleagues and other educators to make sure that everything, you touch everything that you can find around you to make a difference. And I just want to thank you for making a difference in the lives of people that are reading your book, but more importantly, the students that you also teach. And because of you, we're proud that you are an educator here on Guam. But you also were born and raised here. You went to public schools here in Guam. What school did you graduate from?
JFK.
Oh, JFK. So you're back at
I'm back
your
at
alumni.
my school. Yeah.
Yes, and
initially my parents wanted to bring me to FD, but it was so far. I kind of persuaded them because most of my friends are going JFK, so I was at DMS. So
Dedido Junior High.
We're supposed to go to JFK or Ujigo, wherever we stayed. So, and I persuaded them to say, hey, it's close. It's only 5 minutes away from our house. Instead of going up to the Manila, you just drop me there. So yeah, they were practical and I'm at JFK. So
great. But thank you for your commitment to the people of Guam because teachers, like I said, teachers are very, very instrumental. Not very many times you're recognized for the work that you've done, not just in the classroom but throughout the island, and the partnership, because you are a partner with the families, a partner with the community, and a partner with all the other groups and organizations that you work closely with.
A lot of us teachers, we don't really look for those. We don't really I always like to be behind the scenes most of the time. But whenever people appreciate the work that we do, and then that we really sink that into our system because it motivates us to want to do even better.
Right.
So that's one thing good about people like recognizing our accomplishments.
Yes.
So we want to, be much more impactful as we go along. As we still teach, as we're still breathing, and so forth.
Right. Well, again, Merry Christmas. If you're looking for a great Christmas present for your families, and this is a coffee table book, but something that you can also get your hands on while you're sitting around with families, and every person, every age group in the family will really enjoy reading these stories in this book. And we look forward to your release next year. And then also your release of the new comic book that
Yes.
you're also working on.
I'm gonna officially launch. I'm planning to officially launch. Not yet. It's still tentative, but I want to release the book and my comic book at the same time.
Great.
As an official release.
And the good thing about this, and I just want to promote this, is that this was printed locally.
Yes.
Here on Guam at Mad Studio, right?
Copy Express.
At Copy Express.
Yes.
And so, thank you to, of course, a very good quality book,
Yes. Really
with
nice.
beautiful paintings, illustrations, but pages are very good quality, printed here on Guam, so you don't have to ship it off to a foreign land or anywhere far away. And if they're interested in buying a copy of this book,
if you're interested in buying Aniti the Gathering, you can buy this book at Bestsellers at the mall or at GPO. And in Again Shopping Center, you can check out the local shop. They also have a set of copies. They only have like a limited set of copies. So I'm also going to be there, by the way, at the Again Shopping Center on Friday. They have a Christmas bazaar. So I am going to be selling a few books. I only have a few left. And then if you're going to purchase, I can also sign off on your book. Even if you're buying something at the local shop, the book as well, I'll also sign your book.
Yes.
Because I'm going to be there on Friday.
great. And the books are $30.
Yes.
Very good quality, very great stories that every member in the family can enjoy. And, it's really culturally connected
Yes.
to the many cultures that we have here on Guam. And like I said, I bought a couple from you.
Yes.
2 are on island with my grandchildren, and then 2
4 copies, I believe.
Yes, I did buy 4.
Yeah.
And 4 books, and then 2 are sent off island to families in the States. And it's so culturally connected that when I started reading and I saw the different legends that it also connected with, and yes, like you said, you tweaked a little bit here and there, but I also want to give a shout out to your partners, Mr. Greg Sablon, who actually did the Chamorro translation and reviewed some of the contents. You had your editor and review content, also Miguel Pizarro, and your editors, Mrs. Vicky Sablon, who is also a high school assistant principal now at Tizen. Krista Pangilinan Mack, she's the editor and also an educator, right? Krista is also an educator, and Roxanne San Augustine also helped with editing this book. But I remember I said, Vicky, so did you get paid? And she says, no, we don't. We don't even want recognition. We just did it because we love doing what we do, and we love the stories. And they're just friends of yours that came together and looked through it. And
I offered them.
Yeah,
they said,
okay.
no,
no,
and I'm
nobody.
very thankful that I have friends like this that
Yeah.
are willing to help me out. Just because we're friends, and it's very hard to find those nowadays.
Yeah, but they saw the value of this being going back to the community, and that's when I talked to them at the flea market, they said, oh no, we didn't even want our names in the book. But I'm glad, you still did the recognition and that's the value, is the reward to see people buying the books and stuff. So.
On my my next printout on the official release, I'm planning to recognize also to commemorate my mom.
Yes.
I didn't put it in there.
Dedicate it to her, yeah.
Because it's one of the reasons why I also got into the NET, the stories of spirits.
Right.
Because of my past experiences with when she was around. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you, Mr. Labrador, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
to you and your families, and all your colleagues that you work with. I always give my hats out to teachers, educators, because I always say they're the lowest paid, but they give out the most. So my hat's off to you. Thank you for all that you do for our educational community.
Can I also shout out? I want to thank everybody who purchased my book. Thank you for supporting my project and of the NET The Gathering. It really motivated me to really do well in all of my upcoming comic books and publications. And I'll do my best to not disappoint you guys. I want to really, really make this a really fun, exciting thing to anticipate for each month that you guys are going to be checking out for my comic book. Yeah, so thank you so much again for all your assistance.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas. Thank you. So we're going to go into the news. Thank you. Thank you, Isa.
Thank you too.
KGUM-FM, Hagåtña, Guam. The sound of Guam is Wave 105 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. In Towson, Maryland, what appeared to be a car crash turned out to be a mass shooting. Baltimore County Police Chief Robert McCullough.
The first officer that arrived on the scene found a vehicle on its side and in flames. Our officers searched the scene. They found multiple victims and alerted the fire department. The fire department came to the scene.
At least 9 people have been shot and 1 is reported dead. Police say it appears that this is an isolated incident and a targeted shooting. A Manhattan grand jury indicts the suspected shooter in the murder of United Healthcare CEO. CBS's Lilia Luciano.
Luigi Mangione is facing 11 charges in New York in connection with the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson 2 weeks ago. Among them, first-degree murder in the furtherance of terrorism. Ricky Kleeman is a criminal defense attorney.
Murder in the first degree as an act of terrorism is an action that is designed to coerce and intimidate the civilian population.
Congressional leaders have unveiled legislation that would avoid a partial government shutdown later this week and keep the federal government funded through March 14th. It would also provide more than $100 billion to help states and communities recover from hurricanes and other natural disasters. A new survey from Gallup finds that Americans have little confidence in the nation's judicial system. Gallup's Lydia Saad.
After 3 years where Trump's cases were being adjudicated that were making Republicans very unhappy. This year, the momentum seemed to go his direction, and Democrats have been discouraged by the court system.
Speaking of the court system, President-elect Donald Trump pursues the Des Moines Register and its pollster over a pre-election poll showing him trailing Democrat Kamala Harris. The Register calls the lawsuit meritless. A U.S. official says a couple hundred North Korean troops fighting alongside Russian forces against Ukraine have been killed or wounded in battle in the Kursk border region. Russia says Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, a prominent figure in its war with Ukraine, has been assassinated in Moscow. Ukrainian security sources tell CBS News that Ukraine was behind the bombing outside an apartment building. CBS's Haley Ott.
For Russians far away from the front line, the attack in the heart of Moscow brings the battle uncomfortably close. It was very scary and not typical for around here, one woman says.
Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, who traveled to the International Space Station aboard Boeing's troubled Starliner more than 6 months ago, will not return to Earth until at least March 2025. That's 10 months in orbit, rather than the expected 8 to 10 days. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by right now. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-750-2700. That's 800-750-2700. Call now to find out how much your case could be worth.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
'Tis the season for giving, and gift cards are always a holiday favorite, but they've also attracted the attention of crafty criminals who intend to misuse them. So how can you buy gift cards with confidence? Follow these gift smart tips. Before you buy a gift card, look for rips, wrinkles, or any signs of tampering like pin scratch-offs that are damaged. If you notice tampering, choose another card, and always buy from trusted stores and brands. Keep your original receipt and only send gift cards via trackable shipping methods. Want more #gift smart tips? Visit giftcardsafety.org.
The king's younger brother is in hot water again. CBS's Vicky Barker in London.
Palisades have let it be known that Prince Andrew will not attend the royal family's traditional Christmas gathering, which always sees the royals walking to church, greeting onlookers, and being photographed by the world's media. This after revelations that Andrew had been befriended by a wealthy Chinese businessman whom UK security officials suspect is a spy. Yang Tangbo has now been banned from re-entering the UK. Andrews insisted he ended the association as soon as he was told of Yang's possible links to espionage. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
By this spring, when you buy concert tickets, you will see any extra fees included in the list price by order of the Federal Trade Commission. The FTC's requirement that extra fees must be disclosed up front for live events, vacation rentals, and hotels will go into effect in 120 days. Consumers had long complained about so-called junk fees that drive up the costs of tickets and rentals. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Here for the community. Wave 105 FM.
Hey. Hafa, this is Melvin Wampat Borja. I'm the Executive Director from the Commission on Decolonization, and I'd like to invite you to join us every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to noon for Challenge the Status Quo, where we will explore conversations around decolonization, political self-determination, and Guam's political status on Wave 105.1 FM.
Good afternoon. It is 3:08 p.m. and that is your time check brought to you by Wendy's. Soft drinks are just a buck at Wendy's. Any size, anytime. Take a soft drink break anytime and get what you want at Wendy's. For a limited time only, excludes prepackaged beverages, sweet tea, unsweetened tea, coffee, cold brew, and Dave's Craft lemonades. Not valid in a combo.
Hi, I'm Silas, and I'm 10 years old. Man, things are crazy these days. Why can't it be like 10 years ago? The milk was good, everyone carried me everywhere, and the music was awesome. Maybe milk's $12 a gallon now, and nobody can lift me. But we can bring the music back.
Oh, you wanted it, and now you got it. All the hits from the 2000s back on the radio. Every afternoon starting at noon with Maximum Millennium. Maximum Millennium, only here on the Sound of Guam, Wave 105.1 FM.
You are tuned into Wave 105.1 FM on the bright side with our guest host, Mayor Melissa Savares, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can listen to us on our website, thewave105.com, or watch us live on YouTube, Wave 105 Guam. If you want to reach us on the line, please call us at 671-922-1051 or 1052. You can also text us on WhatsApp at 671-922-1051. The Bright Side is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Good to go, your cravings delivered. Order online or download the app. 100 plus restaurants ready to serve. GTA, we start with you. Subway, eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at subwaypacific.com for pickup at your convenience or for delivery right at your doorstep. Online ordering at subwaypacific.com is powered by Good to Go, we deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh. Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Craving Italian? Swing by Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Dive into our super pizza. Enjoy creamy spaghetti carbonara or savor the rich fettuccine alfredo. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Taste the best of Italy today at Vitali's Italian Restaurant. All right, we're going to be doing our Wave stocking stuffer at the 4 o'clock hour. Just a few more days till Christmas, and you know what that means. Stay tuned for those giveaways because we are doing a stocking stuffer sponsored by Burger King, Guam Reef Hotel, Sbarro, KFC, Coast 360, TGI Fridays, Loti Hotel, Vince Jewelers, and Regal Royal Laguna, Guam. And today we are giving away a $25 gift certificate to TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. All you have to do is answer a multiple choice trivia question. First person to answer correctly will be the winner. So be sure to stay tuned for the 4 o'clock hour for the giveaway. And now for your Real Deal traffic report. Now's that time for your Real Deal traffic report here on the Bright Side. Slow traffic on Route 4 in Chalampago at the intersection that leads to Route 10, or if you're trying to make your way to Zonia. Slow traffic on Route 10 and Route 15, Derry Road and Pagat Route in Manilao at the intersection near the Santa Teresita Church. Slow traffic on Route 8 and 10 in Barragata at the intersection near the fire station. Slow traffic on Route 16 in Barragata at the intersection near the post office and the Guam National Guard. Slow traffic on Route 1 and Route 27A in Liguan if you're heading to the intersection near the mobile gas station. Slow traffic on Route 3 in Dededo if you're passing the GRMC hospital heading to the intersection on Route 1. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Dededo northbound if you're heading to the intersection that leads to Route 27 or near the flea market. And now for your traffic advisory for the week from today, Wednesday, December 18th to Friday, December 20th, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14B and on the sidewalk into Manning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your Real Deal traffic report here on the Bright Side.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Hafa Day, good afternoon. I am Mayor Melissa Savares, covering for Polly Suba here on the Bright Side, filling in. And today we're talking about, we started talking to authors, children's authors, literacy, talk about what we can, the imagination of our local talents here on Guam. And we were talking to Mr. Francis Labrador, who is a teacher at John F. Kennedy High School, who actually wrote a comic book, The Aniti, The Gathering. It had stories of legends of Guam and the islands around us. And he kind of tweaked it to make them also look the heroes there. It's a comic book depicting superheroes, and they represent the different legend stories that we have here throughout our islands. And so we'll be talking to a colleague of mine soon, Mayor Hoffman, about the different things that we do with imagination in our communities as a mayor's office. And later on, I'll have a guest to talk about a storybook that she did for her students in her classrooms. So, we always think, what do we get children for Christmas? This is a Christmas season. And how can we get stuff that can be both educational and, interesting for our children? Remember that younger children, their attention spans are not quite as lengthy as, older children. So what can we do? Can we get them stories or toys that they can play with? But then we also want it to be educational. And so, we look at what teachers do in their classrooms and how they catch the attention of their students. And then, what can we do in our communities to also keep the attention of the participants, our sport, if it's sports, how do we keep their interest in learning the skills of the sports? And I'd like to welcome my good friend, a colleague that I'm really going to miss when I leave in a few weeks. But he's always been a partner of mine, whether we were doing liberation or planning programs or an agenda for a meeting, and just getting the community to work with us and learning how to be partners. Because as a mayor, we know that we can't do things on our own. We have to work with partners, and that's the most important thing so that we can be successful in providing for our members of our community. Hafa Day, Mayor Hoffman.
Hafa Day. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I was listening, and yes, you speak from the heart. You have many years' experience, and thank you for those many years' of experience you're doing that. I know, I don't think any of us thought we were going to do it that long, but there's just, one, we're glutton for punishment, but two is that there's really that sense of service and care. It's literally a ministry, because the work that we do is not just political. It's charitable, it's civic, it's cultural, it's educational, it's environment, it's our events, it's dealing with the feds, it's health. You've been a champion of health for the Northern Health Center. It's maintenance, it's safety, senior citizens, it's youth, it's so many aspects. So I think it's the most job I enjoy the most. Of all the things I've done in my life, I enjoyed this the most.
I feel it's the most rewarding job. Every day you help one person or another, and the smiles, or you see the satisfaction. Before I came here, I had a senior citizen that called my office and said, I want you to come and see my house. I don't want your staff. So I quickly told my maintenance staff right before an escort, let's go. Because I'm going to go look at it, but I want you to see and what we can do, because the individual still has family, but our people trust us. They have confidence that even if we have restrictions, we're not going to give everything and roll out the red carpet, but we're going to see how we can help each other, right? And
yes, there's limitations what we can do, and I think for most people, when they come to us with a problem, that's the biggest thing on their mind. To us, it could be a minor thing.
Yes.
But to them, that's the one thing that's bothering them, that's keeping them up at night or making them, stressed out. And especially with our senior citizens, they get stressed out over tons of things,
Yes.
And so you're right. So I think having to be able to respond to that personal touch is really effective, and I think they enjoy that the most. So yeah, there's times that we can't be everywhere and we can't do everything for everybody, and we have to really rely on our residents to take their part. We're not public slaves, we're public servants, and so there's things that we have to do. But I think it's when you have to, when you're able to do those and respond to those are the kind of the heartwarming stuff that I enjoy the most too, because it's a sense of fulfillment to say like, wow, this person's day is brighter, and it was something that we were within our reach or within our resources or within our connections and networking that we were able to help that person.
Yeah, and so the result in my 10-minute visit this morning was I looked him in the eye and I said, okay, this is what we could do, but you need to do this on your part. And my staff was with me, my 2 maintenance guys, and I said, give me a time. When are we going to start this? And they said Monday. I said, okay, Monday, because, they have the home care that comes in. I said, let home care know that Monday we're going to come and do this particular thing. And then, we'll go on every Monday we'll be here, just to do the pickup and make sure you're okay. Because a lot of our seniors, live by themselves, families working, and sometimes not even here on Guam, right? So it's those phone calls that we get and said, can you check if my dad, he's not answering the phone? It's been a couple of hours and we usually don't not hear from them for that long or even a day or two, right? So we're literally, and we've always said, we're the first responders. And that's why, I was a little, I felt a little too strong in my approach last week when we met with the governor and lieutenant governor, because I said, we as mayors did not run to be trash collectors. We or people that have to pick up after this. We ran to make a difference and create programs and make sure that there was all this outreach and activities, but also more so the safety, right? But lately we're the professional trash collectors. We're professional this and that, but it's not what we ran on.
Yeah, it's our own people trashing our own island. It's not visitors. It's not people who are on the planes coming in and saying, "Hey, let me leave the beer cans or this trash or the abandoned vehicle or burn this or furniture," whichever else like that. I understand we have to give our people ways to properly dispose of things. And
properly,
I think on EPA side of it too, and solid waste side of it, is that we need to give people the access. Make it accessible and easy, not this create this ungodly task and Herculean task of having to do stuff and fill out these paperworks and all these. Just allow people to dispose of it, because people are more than willing to take it if there's a place that would take it. But when you start saying, "Oh, this is going to cost $30, $50, $60," they're going to be like, "Well, it's cheaper if I just dump it on the side and let the mayor worry about it." But they don't realize it's going to cost us more too, because we have to rent equipment and the hazards that come with all these things. So you're right. So you're right on the money there. I think everyone is trying to figure out how we can do this, because we're such a small island. We can't take our trash anywhere else. We've got to kind of figure out what we can do here to either upcycle, recycle, reuse it, or find vendors who are willing to take it and places to process it. So, I get alarmed when I see like the land, businesses saying, "Oh, they may not be able to," they're like Global Recycling and stuff like that. I'm like, who's going to do it then? I mean, we don't have enough vendors here to process all that we create. So we're an island that creates a ton of trash, literally tons of trash. And how do we dispose of that properly and keep our island safe and beautiful, protect the aquifer? I think those are all good points that you raised.
Yes, and so so one of the things is we talk about programs and we talk about what we've done. We have 12 senior citizen centers, and that when we have all these centers and we have activities and the holidays, the holidays is always a prime thing about our seniors. We have the congregated meals at our 12 centers, and when they come together, you can see the different joy. It's a different kind of happiness when they're with their friends, right?
Oh yeah.
And I know you're
their peers. I think their classmates.
Because they understand each other, right? They came from an era of, they went through hardship, right?
Yeah, and I honestly, they say they're the greatest generation. They truly are. They survived the war. They survived COVID, SARS. How many other world wars that we had to do those? How many Asian economic crisis?
Conflicts,
9/11, a whole bunch of things, and they're still here, and they're still find reason to joy and to still have faith and to be prayerful. They have such great hope for us and for our youth. And so when I see them, we just had our Christmas party today with our seniors, and we invited their families here. And it's just that joy, you're right, in their face to be like, hey, they're with their friends. So they're so do-this. They go, they get dressed up, they like to do their thing, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, and I was, because this was my last celebration with them, and one of the things that I told them that when I first came in, and this was in 2001 as a vice mayor, they come in with their canes every day or their walkers, and on Valentine's Day, which was the first holiday that I had celebrated, they were still using their canes, but they were wearing heels, and I looked at them like, wow, if I wear heels like that, I'm going to have to sit down because, I can't walk like that, right? And so one of the things is I said they were so tickled, but when they even had like a, the Valentine Queen and King in the center.
Yes,
and I said to them, one elderly woman said to me, she was so tickled, back in the day, Robert, they got married when they were 16 and 17 years old, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so she was so tickled. She said to me, when I was young, I never even went to the prom. But this makes me feel good, that I can dress up like this and we can, her and her husband were both seniors, at the center. And they went in as the king and queen of Valentine's,
Wow.
And they never, because they married young, they never went to their prom. And I don't, so that was a highlight for them.
I mean, you're from recovery after the war,
right,
and all these things. So there really wasn't much. There was joy to celebrate the freedoms part, but there were no ballrooms and stuff like that available.
Wasn't.
So even the graduates of those times, they graduate. God bless those who finished school and managed it, but there's a ton of them that didn't.
Yes.
And because it was still having to rebuild. You had 10, 15 years of just rebuilding after that war.
Yes. So and we saw that where they brought in people from H2 workers, right, for that from the Philippines and the nearby Asian countries, but talking about our seniors, and then of course we see 3 generations of families still taking some taking care of them each other, and then some in multiple families in households, and we're seeing that sometimes there's even a 4th generation that's starting to occupy that home, right? Because it's now the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren.
I know. Now we always see that sometimes attendance dips, and I'm wondering. I said, "Oh, school's out. They're all watching their grand and their great grand. Yeah, they're the babysitters." But they become the teachers of these youth, and so it's the next generation of senior citizens. I like to call it they're aging well. I don't like call them senior citizens. I call them it's for Center for Aging Well now, because a lot of them are so young. I mean, I see 60, 70-year-olds doing marathons and running, and 50-year-olds doing all these things. I'm approaching 50, and I'm just like, I can't see myself just, doing senior center stuff. So I said, trying to envision what that new thing would be of, where we really take care of each other and we really watch out for our health, and, we work together to do that. So as IDEN leaders, as you leaving, I know this is not going to be your last way of helping and volunteering and stuff like that. So I think it's recreating, how can we create that center for the next generation? Because I don't think the people who are going to be turning 55, 60 want to go to a center and play bingo only. I think they want to go out and do stuff.
Yes, and so that brings me to our next discussion, is because you were the first one that opened your outdoor gym, and I noticed, we opened ours in October, and one of the things that I continue to say is it's a multi-purpose facility. Because you're not just playing basketball in there. You're not just going to play volleyball. And pickleball is something that's picking up now. But then we also, I saw it in your facility where you have Zumba for an hour and a half or exercise.
Zumba on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then even the daytime, the seniors go out there, they walk around the court, they exercise. And it just helps them just to get moving other than just sitting down. And so they don't, it's because it's covered, it's a lot easier. It's, it's not, the sun's not beating down on them. So maybe you can advise, the incoming mayor and say, hey, invite them to just walk down there, those who can, and even those on the wheelchairs, go down and just go in there and just enjoy the breeze and enjoy just Sometimes they put little obstacle courses up, and then they walk around it. And
That's a good idea. We have so we actually have Zumba in there nightly, but
nice.
3 different. So there is a rule from 6:30 to 7:45. The basketball players actually step aside and sit on the bleachers, and then we have Zumba. So there's 3 different instructors that come on several days out of the week, it's actually 7 days a week, and some basketball players are now actually joining the Zumba, because Zumba, it's from our seniors to even the younger people are participating. So all of them,
for all ages, and
all
I think it's
ages,
great for cardio.
right. So, but that's an idea to bring them down, and it's something light that they can do is either pickleball, because we can get a pickleball group to come and teach the seniors how to play. Because we could pay several teams, several games within that area. So maybe it's something that we can line the courts for as well.
That's a great idea. I think these seniors, they want to do something. I mean, even outside of the senior center, they go to McDonald's, they eat at restaurants, they go bowling together. I'm like, wow, you guys are really out there. And I feel encouraged by that, because they just, they really want to keep those connections. So they're friends outside of the center setting, which I really love.
Right.
And they love their group chats. I mean, we have a WhatsApp chat for the seniors here, and they absolutely love it. They share information, they share their joys, they share their sorrows. It's every day. It's like good morning, 100 different good morning messages, good night messages, and so it's cute, and it's not feel they want to be in touch with each other, and they want to do that outside of the center setting.
Yeah. So it's and like I said, it's a rewarding, no matter who you're working with, whether it be the seniors or the middle-aged members of the family, or even the children. And I know you have a very active youth summer program and you accommodate all the schedules of all the schools, because you start from the time that the private schools get out, who get out a week before the public schools, all the way until the last public school goes back to school. And even with the extensions, you kept extending your camp schedules. So
understanding that families, finding care for the kids in these times because families have to work, parents have to work. So we want to be able to accommodate both, actually all 3. We do Dodea school time. We follow Dodea, we follow private schools, and we follow public school time. So our camp, we have a day camp for Christmas time, springtime, and summertime. And then outside of that, we have an after-school program for reading and math. So it's a great thing for us, because we've been so blessed to have the partnership with GIDA and the Department of Public Health Child Care Development Fund. I think that's been the saving grace for a lot of what we do.
Yes.
And, I was telling UOG when they were talking to us about our budgets, I said, a lot of what the mayors do isn't listed in the law.
Yeah.
Nothing in the law says we're supposed to organize programs for youth, but we do it because we care, because we feel that's really what our role should be,
because
is to help
families
raise that
need
generation.
Yes.
So it's a wonderful experience for us. Our camp is full already. We never have time to publicly announce we have registration, because we always have returnees, and then a lot of our camp staff have grown with this within us within the camp. So a lot of our staff who are now staffing the camp were campers when they were small, which is really cute, and they absolutely love it. So they get a stipend from that, and they get the experience, and they love working with the kids. And a lot of them have gone on to become teachers and child care workers, which I am so proud of, because the fact that we were able to plant that seed that, hey, I really like teaching art, I think I want to do that route. And so they did. They went to college, they became an art teacher, and now they're teaching art.
That brings me to something, because when we first opened our camp, and that was back in the early 2000s, I just recently, a young man returned to Guam as a pharmacist, who was one of our very first campers in our summer program. So for him to go to pharmacy school and get his doctorate in pharmacy, and he's actually working here on Guam in one of our pharmacies, it was just like, oh my gosh, you're so grown up. And he was like 6 years old when he first started our...
I know, it makes us feel very old, but at the same time, you feel very rewarded that they stayed the straight path, and they enjoyed it, and they come back to say thank you, and they really...
Right.
The core memories that they have from that, they come back and say, oh, it was a great time in my life, and they have friends. So, I mean, they become each other's mullies and paris. I'm like, wow, this is like So it's generational for us now. I mean, this is our 20th year doing camp. And so, we already have campers. We have parents of campers who were campers.
Children of campers, right? Children
of our campers,
yes. So, So, I mean, the activities that go on, you have that great art facility, theater. And I know you just put up your curtains this past weekend.
That.
You're going to be drawing that down and showing what's behind it, and you have your props running back and forth. You don't have to dim the lights as often as you used to, right?
It's a wonderful experience, and the reason why, and kind of the main reason why I did this, is we have a lot of very talented people on this island, and when you want to get that experience of really running a real production, you kind of really need all those other things, the curtains, the lights, the switches, and all those other things that kind of go with it, all the bells and whistles. So just recently through some of our funding, we were able to get these up and running. So it's for those talented people who are either doing short film or doing fashion show or plays or performances or even graduation. We've had graduations here for pre-K and for daycares and stuff. I think it's going to make it a lot different because you'll feel that excitement. When the curtains close, they're on that stage, and the minute it opens up and you see the crowd and they're clapping and cheering for you, their faces light up. And as the artist, this is that's one of the joys they have, is sharing that with their family and their friends.
Maybe they can have the next Liberation Coronation over there too.
I don't yet. Well, it happens during summertime, so that's the hard part that we have.
That can't be done.
Balancing our summer camp with all that. So we have times when the theater's not available, because we're, our main focus is trying to get as many kids as we can into camp. So we have anywhere from 80 to 100 kids.
Ooh,
and
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. And a majority of our kids come from various backgrounds on the island, from low-income families to foster kids to kids,
doctors.
So we cater to everybody, and we are a proud block grant provider. We're members of the American Camp Association and the National After School Association. So we really try to put as much emphasis on education, prevention, working with the kids, and mental health for the kids as well. So I think that's kind of the big push that we have now, is just a lot of these kids they just want to be kids. They want to enjoy their life. And so we kind of make them, we have days where they can be silly. One of the things I was telling is that I always tell when I have visitors from the feds here, one of the things we did is we just put a bunch of blankets and boxes out and made them go creative. And some had fashion shows, some were building things. They built a little mini mart out of boxes, and they were all playing pretend. And it was really nice to see them all working together to do that. And I was like, this is what kids want to do. They just want to they want to have fun, have some structure, have some, but they want to feel safe and feel welcome and accepted. So we danced with them, and we brought in different groups. So this year we're partnering with some art groups and some more cultural groups as well, because the parents really like that, because they don't get that sometimes in the private schools.
Yes. So we need to take a break because we do have sponsors, and then can you just hold on, or you want us to call you back?
You can call me back.
Okay, we'll call you right back as soon as the break.
Thank you.
Thank you. You had so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
President-elect Trump started his week with a news conference.
At a freewheeling news conference in South Florida, Donald Trump says he thinks his choice for defense secretary will get enough support from the Senate to be confirmed, despite reports of sexual misbehavior and a drinking problem.
I think Pete Hegseth is making tremendous strides over the last week.
On his choice of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Health and Human Services Secretary,
I think he's going to be much less radical than you would think.
Trump says that even though Kennedy's lawyer has asked the FDA to revoke approval for the polio vaccine, which has been around for decades.
I think everything should be looked at, but I'm a big believer in the polio vaccine, the Salk vaccine.
Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
A Senate committee says internal Amazon studies has found a relationship between worker speed and injuries in Amazon warehouses. The Senate report says Amazon rejected safety recommendations so as not to affect productivity. Amazon says the report is, quote, wrong on the facts. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by right now. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-750-2700. That's 800-750-2700. Call now to find out how much your case could be worth.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Something magical happens when you unbox the best of British TV with BritBox. Stream acclaimed series starring Olivia Colman, Idris Elba, Sophie Turner, Matthew McFadden, and more of Britain's brightest talent. See what's inside, discover something remarkable, and uncover what perhaps you were looking for all along. Unbox BritBox and stream the best of British TV. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
Hafa Day, Guam. Johnny Atulai here, inviting you to tune in to Vet Talk Show every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the wave of conversation where Miss Bobby and I address veterans' concerns and benefits for you, only on Wave 105.1 FM.
Well, bless my biscuits. The holidays are here, and KFC's got just what you need to make them finger-licking festive. Our new KFC Holiday Feast, packed with 12 pieces of my world-famous fried chicken, hearty sides, and fluffy biscuits. And here's the kicker. You'll get a glass casserole dish with your KFC Holiday Feast. Hosting a smaller gathering, our 6-piece holiday meal is just as delicious and perfect for cozy celebrations. This holiday season, take a break. Let KFC do the cooking while you enjoy the loving. KFC, it's finger-licking good for the holidays.
Happy holidays from Wave 105 FM. Stay tuned and when prompted, be the first to answer our stocking stuffer trivia question. And you get to choose a stocking. Best part is you get to take home whatever's inside it too. Stay tuned and win big this holiday season. Your Wave 105 stocking stuffers are brought to you by Burger King, Lotte Hotel, TGI Fridays, the Guam Reef Hotel, KFC, the Riga Royal Laguna Guam Resort, Manang Picas, and the station bringing you the holiday sound of Guam, Wave 105 FM.
Merry Christmas!
Happy holidays from Pat's Tinting and Detailing. Gift certificates available for the perfect present. Visit us today and spread the cheer. Come in and make your holiday brighter with Pat's Tinting and Detailing. Call 647-SLAM for more information.
Chili's wants to help you celebrate this holiday season with a gift for everyone. Purchase a $50 gift card at Chili's and receive a $10 coupon for yourself. Give a gift, get a gift. At Chili's, great value and memories happen here.
With decades experience in Guam and the region, Take Care members have access to the largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. Membership also includes the high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers and the one-stop FHB Health Center and Urgent Care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to TakeCareAsia.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Just a few more days till Christmas, and you know what that means. Stay tuned for those giveaways because we are doing a stocking stuffer sponsored by Burger King, Guam Reef Hotel, Savares, KFC, Coast 360, TGI Fridays, Lotte Hotel, Vince Jewelers, and Riga Royal Laguna Guam. And today we are giving away a $25 gift certificate to TGI Fridays. Thank God it's Friday. All you have to do is answer a multiple choice trivia question. First person to answer correctly will be the winner. Be sure to stay tuned for the 4 o'clock hour for the giveaway. And now for your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside. Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside. Slow traffic, let's see. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Outer Loop north and southbound at the intersection in front of the governor's office. Slow traffic on Route 1 northbound if you're heading to the intersection near the Agana Boat Basin. Slow traffic on Route 1 to Muning north and southbound at the intersection that leads to Route 14 or near the ITC building. Slow traffic on Route 1 to Muning southbound if you're heading to the intersection near the John F. Kennedy High School. Slow traffic on Route 1 if you're coming from the intersection that leads to Route 14 in Upper Tumon, heading to the intersection that leads to Route 16 or near the Dedado Wendy's restaurant. And now for your traffic advisory for the week from today, Wednesday, December 18th to Friday, December 20th. Between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14 Challenge San Antonio into Manning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Hafa day. Good afternoon. My name is Melissa Savares. I am the mayor of Dedido, and I am covering for Polly Suba on the Brightside today. And we're talking about activities for children and programs that we have with teachers, educators in our Guam DOE system that actually are authors of children's books, and how they get how they're inspired by their surroundings, by their students, and how they too are, and also by their colleagues, and how they too share with their students on the different talents that they have, and how children actually have brilliant ideas. I was talking to Mayor Hoffman, who's with me again on the phone. Hi, Mayor Hoffman.
Hafa day, thank you.
Hafa
Sorry,
day.
I forgot. I always forget that, so we're on the air.
Yes, and you were sorry, and you were talking earlier about
while on the air.
Yeah, okay. While you were talking earlier about how you put a blanket in a box out for your camp kids, and they did all kinds of, just use their imagination to do come up with all kinds of things, using that blanket in the box, Yeah. And so the imagination of children is just incredible, things, and sometimes you wonder, where did they learn that? And did they learn it at home, or did they watch it on TV or YouTube or on TikTok, right? And
I think it's unleashing their talents. Most of them, it's not all about sports. It's not all about all these other things. So I think the beauty of it is when given an opportunity, some don't realize they like to paint.
Yes.
Until they get an opportunity to paint, or they don't, modeling clay, or putting things together, or they're problem solvers. So I love seeing the different aspects of that when they're given a chance to experience something new and for them, and then they start to feel like, wow, this is pretty cool. I enjoy this, and so hopefully they pursue it. So, I have some kids who they're small, but they love the military so much they can't wait to join the army and everything. So they love to march in formation and salute each other, and I think it's adorable.
Yes, and I was thinking about how I was sharing earlier with Mr. Labrador that I was reading the paper about that graduate from the University of Guam, I think Miss Iglesias, and she attributed her to her mother. She gave tribute to her mom. She even carried her mom's picture with her on stage, because her mom had passed away 15 years ago, and she knows that this was a dream of her mother, to pursue a higher education. But after graduation, it was not really a thing for her. And what happened was, she went and worked and joined the National Guard. But later on in 2000, right, 2020, right before COVID, she said, no, I'm going to register for UOG and I'm going to take these classes. And it was challenging because she was deployed at the same time. All the classes were online. And but she was determined. She says she wasn't ready. She wasn't quite ready after high school, but she was determined to get that degree. And she made sure it was a tribute to her mother. And we don't know at the time. Sometimes we're really not quite ready to do this because of other obligations that we still say that they're other priorities, right?
Yeah, it happens a lot. I mean,
yeah.
It happens a lot with people that I teach for CCD. When I teach adult confirmation, and when I ask these kids, I ask the adults, how come you never finished? Oh, I had sports, or it wasn't a thing. But now the fact that they want to return to their faith, I thought it was, I said, wow. I said, the heavens are rejoicing. The fact that you want to do this. You don't have to do this, but they want to do it. And they want to do that so they can be good examples to their kids who are also in CCD.
Right.
And, they want to be churchgoers, or it's the faith of their grandparents, their great-grandparents. So I thought it was like, okay, that's nice. They all have their own personal reason.
Yes.
And so we're not going to judge them with why. So even with people who don't go immediately to college after high school, if they want to try out they can try the work field, and then if they want to go to do something else in their life, but it's never too late to try to do those things.
Yeah. And some wait till they're 55 where they can get a discount, right? But no matter what it is, I mean, I have a friend who they were educators, and after they retired, then they went and got their doctorate degree. And I said, what? You spent all that, And they said it was just a bucket list,
Yeah.
And they figured, well, let's do it after we retire because they're empty nesters. They don't have to answer to their employer, and they had the time to do it. And I said, well, my kudos to you, right? But, talking about the children and their imagination, and now Christmas is coming up. And we have children, that, and to me, I have a rule in my home that we don't give gifts to each other. Over 30 years ago, we were separated as a family because my son was sick and I had to be in Hawaii, and I had my other son here, and we didn't spend Christmas together. So our gift of presence, of being together, is the gift that we give to each other.
Oh, beautiful.
We share a meal. And so, of course, if you have kids around, you just get a gift for the kids, right? But not for the adults. Our rule is for the adults, it's the gift of presence. Because like you, we're all busy. I'm sure your daughter is not, if she's not doing something for school, she's doing something else for the community, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the same with you. And your wife is just as busy as you are. So, being together for a holiday is really something that we cherish, especially in our roles, is because we're all running around the village trying to make somebody else happy, right? And making sure that they're safe. And then we always forget about our loved ones, right? Or sometimes we're dragging our loved ones with us. And so the gift of presence is always something that is dear to me during the holiday season. Is that spending time with your loved ones or those that are dear to you that you haven't spent time with in a long time, even if it was, months. And this is the holiday season where we do this. But for young children...
Just visiting people, texting people, calling them, making it a point to just think about them and pray for them.
Right.
I always tell people, I may not see you all the time, but it doesn't mean I'm not thinking of you or praying for you or want the best for you. So, they understand the role we agreed to take on.
Yes.
And, sometimes it's lonely at the top. Sometimes it's lonely and sometimes it's very fulfilling.
Yes.
Because, I think for us as in office is that, we've seen many Christmases where we're really trying to make sure the village is not just beautiful and pretty with decorations, but, our residents who are without have stuff. So we do, fundraisings and canned food drives and present drives, and we help, with Toys for Tots, and anything that we can do to just bring that joy to those families. And, we always get asked by all those charities, do you know where we can find people who are in need of this or that? And we do. And this, every year it's finding those families and locating them and working with Catholic Social Services and Salvation Army and all those other people that get them the services to make sure they have a nice Christmas as well.
Yeah, and I remember the days where you only got one gift. Now children are so overwhelmed, they get 3 or 4 gifts. Sometimes there's more.
Like I said, when I was young, when I got $5 in my stockings, I thought I had the best day of my life.
Yeah.
It was like, here's $5 and go to the store. You can go to the store and play video games and get soda pop and get some hot fries or pickles, and that was a great part for me growing up. I said those are the joys I had. I grew up in a single family home.
Right.
With just a mom only, and that was a thing. But we had each other, and I think this season is just making sure you have somebody and checking on those people who have no one, those who are alone, checking on that's kind of the joy you're going to be able to bring, is if you know someone who has nobody, who are far away from home, or they're stationed here, or the families are all gone. Just check up on them. Do a wonderful neighborly thing and just check up on them.
Yes, and so that's important. We see that in our communities. I have a friend who lives in Agana Heights, and her husband would, for Christmas or Thanksgiving, they especially during a tulay season, right? They'd pack meals. They fry a tulay or they cook the atulay, and they have atulay and rice and finadeni, and they have them these to-go boxes, and they go around to Agana.
Oh, wow.
To where the court is, the library, the Plaza de España, and they give it's fish and rice, And she says, come, I have, they don't even get out. They just have fish, rice, and a vegetable, and then they have their bottled water. And because, she says that's their satisfaction, is that they're giving a meal. It's not the holiday meal that most people are doing with their families, but she says, I love a tulay and I love rice, and I would love for somebody I want to share that with someone. And so, but
That's great. I think when you're able to do those acts of kindness, it really goes a long way for people. Like I tell people that if you're going to attend a family party and stuff, if you're going to Blutin, don't Blutin for yourself, Blutin for somebody you see on the street.
Right.
And offer them, saying, hey, here's a little meal or stuff. So we try to do that as many times as we can. It is costly, but for those who have much and who are blessed with much, that's a wonderful way to spread that joy in the season, is just, providing that meal, providing that our manamco last week did Christmas cards for the inmates.
Oh, nice.
So, but I was shocked because there's 1,000 inmates.
Oh.
So I was like, that's the first thing I did. I was like, what? I was thinking, 400 to 600 maybe, 1,000. I was like, they're like, you make 1,000 cards for these manamco.
No, but, Mayor Hoffman, if we can share that, I mean, hey, everybody did 10, right? 100 people do 10, and I know we have more than
they thought it was a wonderful idea to do. I really commend our center manager for organizing that and working with that and getting those lists, and they're writing messages and talking to them, and when you put it's not just a random card that actually says their name on it, and so I think it just makes them feel a little different, understanding they did something wrong, but they want to at least have some kind of Christmas joy, and so our seniors, bless them, decided, hey, let's go write Christmas cards to our seniors. I mean, to those in prison, and so they've been doing it for the last day. We're working on it today still.
Wow, so that's a very good, fulfilling gesture, because not all the inmates have somebody to send them a Christmas card.
Sometimes their families are ashamed of what they did, and so they don't want anything to do with them, and and so at least they have that Christmas spirit in there. From our seniors, to let them know that, hey, someone out there's thinking of them.
Right. Okay, so that's really great, and let's make a difference. I know sometimes there are choices for the people that are out there, but they are still human beings, right?
Yeah.
And God will bless you.
And sometimes maybe they might be really innocent. Sometimes there might be people that are falsely accused, or they're waiting their trial or whichever. But no matter what the case is, they are, like you said, they are still human, and we're called in our ministry to visit the imprisoned, and if we can't visit them, at least communicate with them and share that joy of the season.
And just to send them, you could just, if you don't want to put any message in there, put a prayer in there, you know, and because everybody needs a prayer.
Yeah, and they could use the card as a nice decor for wherever they're at, and just, hopefully it gives them a sense of those inmates, a sense that, hey, they may have done something wrong, and maybe they can think about the people they've hurt or victims they have, and then change their life for the better and make those positive choices.
Right. Yes. Well, thank you for that inspiration. I mean, you with the imaginations of everybody that we encounter, to the spiritual, thoughts of people who need the extra prayers. And then, we have people that want to pray. And that was going to be my next ministry, is I will do a prayer ministry when I retire and go visit people in the hospitals that want to pray with somebody. And, I'll reach out to my other denominations around us, because our chaplains come from our parish of Santa Barbara for GRMC. And so, sometimes they're running between patients, right? But if it's a patient that just wants somebody to come and pray with them for the day, or
just sitting with them and being there with them, I think patients enjoy that. I think
it's somebody different, right?
Ministry. Yeah, because you see people in their worst,
right?
You provide them that hope. So I bless you for that and wanting to do that. I know everyone was asking that. What is Melissa going to do when she retires? I said, she can do whatever she wants and whatever she chooses.
I'm just not going to have a boss. Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you, and Merry Christmas. I'm going to take a break for the hour, and thank you for spending this time with me, Mayor Hoffman. And
no problem.
You can call on me anytime.
I appreciate that. Take care.
All right. God bless. Bye-bye.
Yes, God bless.
Bye-bye. We're going to go on a break now, and we'll come back at the other side of the hour. Thank you.
KGUM-FM, Agutnia, Guam. The sound of Guam is Wave 105 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Michael Wallace. At least one person is dead and 9 injured in a mass shooting in a suburb of Baltimore. Baltimore County Police Chief Robert McCullough.
We believe this to be a targeted incident. It appears that the individuals in this case somehow knew one another and that this incident was intentional and targeted.
There's no word on any arrests. Hundreds attended a candlelight vigil in Madison, Wisconsin for the victims of Monday's school shooting. WISC TV reporter Merrill Hubbard was there.
People taking a moment here to remember those victims of this tragic shooting and to come together. That was a message we heard from Madison Mayor Sati Rhodes Conway, to come together right now, and it's okay not to be okay. We talked to organizers as they were setting up who said this is a very important moment for the community to come together.
Police are still looking into the 15-year-old shooter's motive. A Manhattan grand jury has indicted the suspected killer of United Healthcare CEO on 11 counts, including murder as an act of terrorism. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg says Luigi Mangione intended to invoke terror with the murder. Many journalists are wondering how hostile President-elect Donald Trump will be toward them after ABC settled his defamation lawsuit. And Trump has now sued the Des Moines Register.
Besides stepping up legal threats against news outlets, Donald Trump says he will also consider suing social media influencers for defamation.
This is a very different, very scary kind of thing.
Frank Sesno is with George Washington University's School of Media.
What really hurts and who really gets hurt the most is local journalism and local communities. Because if there aren't people to do that work, if there aren't news organizations covering those communities, they don't know what's going on.
Matt Piper, CBS News.
The feds have finalized new rules requiring airlines to train their employees to help people with disabilities. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth says her wheelchair has been damaged numerous times while flying.
In a single month, they broke a total of 892 in just 1 month. We wouldn't allow airlines to get away with breaking 892 passengers' legs every month. Why would we be accepting of that for our mobility devices?
A man in Houston is fighting to get his wife and 4 kids back after they were deported to Mexico earlier this month. KHOU reporter Maria Aguilera says the family missed an immigration court date because the mother was giving birth to twins.
I want them here with me, he says.
This case shouldn't have gone to this extreme. There were options, legal options that were available, and he was not given that opportunity.
His attorney says there were circumstances out of their control without having legal representation at the time, now facing serious consequences.
The story of Federico Arellano and his family. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the famous footwear that everyone has on their holiday wish list. So don't wait to make it famous. Whether you're searching for their favorite character shoes or the hottest sneakers, slippers, and boots, Famous Footwear has the newest styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, Timberland, and more. Unwrap Famous today and make everyone's holidays merry with buy one, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Something magical happens when you unbox the best of British TV with BritBox. Stream acclaimed series starring Olivia Colman, Idris Elba, Sophie Turner, Matthew McFadden, and more of Britain's brightest talent. See what's inside, discover something remarkable, and uncover what perhaps you were looking for all along. Unbox BritBox and stream the best of British TV. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
Many animal shelters are overcrowded this holiday season.
If it sounds like this animal shelter is full, that's because it is, with at least 100 dogs and cats over capacity.
Well over what is comfortable for us as a shelter.
Animal Services spokesperson Steve Burdo says every day they receive an influx of dogs and cats in the wake of rainstorms.
Fences are being blown down, animals are getting out, doors are being blown open.
That's compounded by December being a slow adoption period when families are busy during the holidays.
If you have the ability to welcome an animal into your home at this time, we could really use the help.
Matt Bigler for CBS News, Martinez, California.
You'll hear more seatbelt warnings in the cars of the future. The National Traffic and Highway Safety Administration has finalized new rules requiring audible warnings for backseat passengers beginning in September of 2027. In most cars today, there are only chimes reminding people in the front seats to buckle up. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The county just requested more electric charging stations.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more at First in Maine, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations, too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Hey! More of what you need. Wave 105 FM.
Good afternoon. It is 4:07 p.m. and that is your time check brought to you by Wendy's. Soft drinks are just a buck at Wendy's. Any size, anytime. Take a soft drink break anytime and get what you want at Wendy's. For a limited time only, excludes prepackaged beverages, sweet tea, unsweetened tea, coffee, cold brew, and Dave's Craft lemonades. Not valid in a combo.
You work all day. Nights are for relaxing. Tune in Monday through Thursday for Light Nights here on Wave 105 FM. Designed to help you chill and forget about the stresses of your day. The wave doesn't stop, but it sure can slow down. It's Light Nights, Monday through Thursday nights till midnight only here on the Sound of Guam. Wave 105 FM.
You are tuned into Wave 105.1 FM on the Bright Side with our guest host Melissa Savares from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can listen to us on our website, thewave105.com, or watch us live on YouTube, Wave 105 Guam. If you want to reach us on the line, please call us at 671-922-1051 or 1052. You can also text us on WhatsApp at 671-922-1051. The Bright Side is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Good to go. Your cravings delivered. Order online or download the app. 100 plus restaurants ready to serve. GTA, we start with you. Subway, eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at subwaypacific.com for pickup at your convenience or for delivery right at your doorstep. Online ordering at subwaypacific.com is powered by Good to Go, we deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh. Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Craving Italian? Swing by Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Dive into our super pizza. Enjoy creamy spaghetti carbonara or savor the rich fettuccine alfredo. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Taste the best of Italy today at Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the Bright Side. Let's see here, slow traffic. Slow traffic on Route 8 in Barragata if you're heading to the intersection and near the fire station. Slow traffic on Route 16 in Barragata Heights at the intersection in front of the Guam Rev Tax. Slow traffic on Route 16 if you're coming down from the overpass heading to the intersection near the Harmon McDonald's restaurant. Slow traffic on Route 16 and Route 27A if you're heading to the intersection near the mobile gas station in Liguan. Slow traffic on Route 3 in Dededo if you're passing the GRMC hospital heading to the intersection on Route 1. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Dededo north and southbound at the intersection that leads to Route 27 or near the flea market. And now for your traffic advisory for the week from tomorrow, Thursday, December 19th to Friday, December 20th, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14B and on the sidewalk into Maning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your real deal traffic report here on the Bright Side. All right, now's that time for that giveaway that I just announced earlier in the first few hours of the show. And you know, just a few days till Christmas, and you know what that means? That means we are doing a giveaway, which is our stocking stuffer sponsored by Burger King, Guam Reef Hotel, Sabaro, KFC, Coast 360, TGI Fridays, Loti Hotel, Vince Jewelers, and Riga Royal Laguna, Guam. We are giving away a $25 gift certificate to TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. All you have to do is answer a multiple choice trivia question. First person to answer correctly will be the winner. Be sure to stay tuned for the question, and our question is, what Christmas beverage is also known as milk punch? We have A, hot cocoa, B, milkshake, or C, eggnog. Okay, we have the first caller here. Hafa Day, you're on air.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
It's C, eggnog.
Correct. Congratulations. Who am I speaking with?
The one and only John Ray.
John Ray. Okay, kindly hold, okay, and I'll get your information for your prize, all right?
Cool. I just love Burger King.
Oh, it's TGIF, but okay. One moment, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, now back to the bright side with our guest host, Melissa Savares.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Hafa day and welcome back to the bright side. I am Mayor Melissa Savares, filling in for Polly Suba, who is covering for Patty in the mornings. And, you know, we were talking about children's books and literacy and what can we give to children or families for Christmas. Christmas is a time for giving, in giving gifts. And also spending time with families. And so I have a guest that will be in studio shortly. She's an educator from an elementary school with the Department of Education, and she actually wrote a book a book for children. And she teaches elementary school. So she'll be in here shortly. But, you know, aside from talking about what we can give to children for Christmas, I always say, you know, of course, we have a reason for the season. Is the reason of we celebrate Christmas is of the birth of our Lord. And, you know, there's a tradition in the Philippines. It's usually with the Philippines that they have what they call Misa Godzu or Misa de Gallo, where they celebrate the early morning Eucharistic celebration with early morning Mass. And a lot of these Masses actually started this past Monday in different parishes throughout the island, and it's a part of a Catholic tradition that I know happens. And you know, being from Derrida, with one of the largest Filipino congregation or community, the celebration started Monday. The church is full as early as 4 in the morning, where parishioners from all over the island have come, and they after the service, after the celebration, they actually have fellowship, and so pots of soup and pandesal, and you know, just getting together with people who they haven't seen in years, who have come to the parish to celebrate the Misa de Gallo, and it's a tradition that's brought by the faithful, and kicks off the 9 days before the birth of our Lord and the birth of Jesus, and which is the reason why we celebrate Christmas, Christ Mass, right? And then, of course, in modern tradition is, you know, the celebration with the children. It's a celebration where we celebrate, and it's a happy time for children. They also wait for the man in the red suit to come and give gifts from Santa. A lot of young children, believe that Santa Claus is out there. Saint Nicholas, who comes from the North Pole. And we think about what are safe gifts to give to our children. And I always believe that the gift of learning a child is actually raised by the entire community. Their first teachers are their families, their parents, and their families that surround them. Then they are also taught when they come to school or learning facility before they go to kindergarten. And then when they participate in community activities, they learn from their peers, their coaches, their camp leaders, their facilitators in the different activities that they participate in. And in our community, we have a library that is run by the Guam Public Library System. And, in our community, in Dedido alone, the Dedido Library, it's opened more times than some of the smaller villages have their libraries open. And we are open 5 days a week, I believe. And families actually go in to use the library. They check out books. During the summer, there's a reading program where they have guest readers come in and have themes. But what I like about the library is that it also teaches those who don't know how to access computers. They teach them how to use a computer, how to turn it on, how to access if they're going to go online to do a research, and you can put in what you're researching for or what you're looking for and click the search button, and it'll bring you right to those that website or that link and help people learn how to use that for those that don't have a computer at home. And it even gives them access to job employment. The American Job Center, which is run by the Department of Labor at the GCIC building, has opportunities for employers who are looking for employees to perform tasks, to go to the website and see what jobs are available, and then they can apply. And so the opportunities are wide range in a library where you can still check out books. You can read books. There are reference books. There are still, believe it or not, still encyclopedias that are out there. But their updated information from encyclopedias you can find in the by searching on the computer, online, by going and putting in your search request, whatever you're looking for. And a lot of times I hear a lot of families saying, we have old encyclopedias, Britannica, that were purchased by our parents and our grandparents, and we have no use for it. But believe it or not, there are still good information in these encyclopedias that you can still use today. Maybe most information are not updated as you would get by going online, but other information still the same. We still live in a world that still has you use as reference mapping. I'm sure a lot of the maps have increased information because more roads, more technology, more routes. But mountains are still there unless they're been blasted that they're no longer mountains. Oceans are still in the same places where they are. Those kind of information you can find in an encyclopedia. But it's still good as reference information if you have a set laying around. But particularly they can be found in a public library or even a school library that's available and open for students. But the reason why I'm mentioning library is because students or families can go in and check out books, especially to read during the Christmas break. I know that during the summer, families were going in weekly to check out books, and then they Then they come up and then come back the following week to return and check out a new set. So those are things, and that can be happening. 2 weeks of Christmas, a Christmas break, that can happen if families don't know what to do with the children. There's a lot of free things that you can go to and entertain your children and keep them occupied. Going to the library. We have free beaches where they don't have to pay to go swimming and play in the sand. Our Dedido swimming pool is open. They can call Parks and Recreation to see. I know that the only day that they're closed is on a Wednesday for cleaning and maintenance. But the pool is open in Dedido at the sports complex as well. And activities, to go to the parks. Most of our parks have, there's still a lot of playground equipment. I know in Dedido we're still waiting for the installation of 2 complete playground equipments, but we still have our swing sets and the swing sets and the playground exercise equipment that they can take part and play in. So there's a lot of activities, free activities, but library, if they don't, and it's air conditioned, if they don't want to go to the playground or to the beach. But there's a lot of activities on Guam. You can also have them come on, just go to the mall, go to different activities. The mall has activities, but of course you go to the mall to walk around and stuff. It's free. Exercise is very good. You can also do baking with your children, to art activities, or even write a story. Write a story about what their imagination is about. If they're dreaming of something, or if they like to get together with friends and family, what would they do with their friends and family? So coming up with different activities for the children during the Christmas break is something that a lot of parents are going to be wondering about doing. But there's so much you can do at home, you can do outside. And, Christmas is about being together. I remember that when we had COVID and everybody had to be together, they were pulling their hair saying, I'm not used to, can the teachers come and take our kids? We need to go back and, separate our times. But there are times when we miss our families and we want to be there with them. And Christmas time is a time where we spend, especially the young children, spend 2 weeks with their families. And so we're looking forward to that. We're looking for activities, but reading and checking out books is very important to keep their literacy. Reading, but also understanding what they're reading is important, because comprehension has a big impact. If you don't understand what you're reading, keep reading until you understand the story, and you can summarize the story with your loved ones, your friends, and the conversation continues. I see a lot of families where each individual person, from the youngest to the oldest one, are on a device and they're not talking to each other. I had said to one parent at one time, I said, back in my days, parents used to talk to their children. Now they're texting their children to have their conversations that way. But, it's great to get devices and have their devices, entertain the children, but open eye-to-eye communication is still very, very important and much, much needed in the relationships and the communications between all members of the families. I have a friend who was at a sporting event recently, and she said to me, wow, we had a 3-year-old child that was next to us at the basketball game, and he was so well behaved. And when she said he's not running around, and here everybody around him is cheering and for their favorite team, especially because they made a 3-point shot for that basketball game, and when she looked, the child was still sitting there. The 3-year-old was still sitting there. Well, he was on a device watching a show. I'm not sure what show. I don't know if it was Baby Sharks or something. Coco Melon, she said. So, we also need to read stories, not just let them watch. Devices are good for short periods of time, not a long period, because we need that eye-to-eye communication and the physical contact with our children. Yeah, come on in. So I have a guest that's coming in to our studio. Sure. She'll be in shortly, and her name is Ezra Blas, and she has written a book as well. And so I want her to share that, her story and her motivation on why she wrote the book and how her students inspired her. Or maybe if not her students, maybe her colleagues as other teachers, or her son. If her son was the inspiration of why she wrote her little storybook that she also shares with her community, her teaching community. And so this is where, how can we motivate our young members and then also our colleagues, and what the experience of having done that is for these educators, the teachers, and then also the experience of their children and people. So, a gift of ideas, gift of talents is something that it's important about sharing. And that's what Christmas is about. It's about sharing and remembering that we share not just with our loved ones, but also the less fortunate. Like in the hour before this, Mayor Hoffman and I were talking about the less fortunate that we see in our communities. And sometimes when we look at their wish list, when we ask, well, what is it that you want for Christmas? And some of them are saying, we just want hygiene products. And so, hygiene, soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, a nice clean towel, face towel, so that they can, wash their face and feel clean. Those are gifts that we too take it for granted. And so how can we help somebody in need? They don't have to ask for it, right? Not necessarily giving them money, but giving them even a bottle of water, a meal, hygiene products. And so we'll go on a break for now, and then when we come back, we'll speak with our young author. Thank you.
A rap star is still having issues with her alleged ex, even though he is behind bars.
Rapper Megan Thee Stallion is asking a court to issue a restraining order against fellow rapper Tory Lanez.
I'm a savage.
He's serving a 10-year prison sentence for shooting her, but she says he's harassing her from prison through surrogates and third parties. The filing says bloggers acting on Lane's behalf continue to cast doubt on her allegations, making false claims including that the gun and bullet fragments in the case are missing. He received his prison sentence in 2022. Matt Piper, CBS News.
A huge merger may be in the works in the auto industry. Japan's Nikkei reports Honda and Nissan are getting ready to start talks. Neither automaker is confirming the report, but they are reiterating their previous pledges to cooperate together. They agreed earlier this year to collaborate on electric vehicle batteries and software. A Honda-Nissan merger would create a strong rival to Toyota. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And now for your local headlines being brought to you by McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Buenas and Hafa Day. My name is Skylar Obispo. Here's the latest from the Marianas Business Journal. A 20-year-old has been arrested for driving while impaired on the night of December 15th. According to a magistrate's complaint issued by the Judiciary of Guam, officers from the Guam Police Department observed a Honda Accord driving on the wrong side of the road. When officers approached, they identified the operator as Chanel Francina Story, who officers described as having bloodshot eyes and smelling of an intoxicating beverage. When asked if she had been drinking, Story responded that she had smoked a large amount of weed. She agreed to take a field sobriety test, which resulted in a presumptive positive that she was under the influence of alcohol. Story was taken into custody and she became belligerent and refusing to get into the back of the officer's patrol vehicle. A breath test performed at the precinct revealed that she had a blood alcohol content of 0.185%. She was formally charged with driving while impaired, resisting arrest, and the underage consumption of alcohol. In more news, Starlux Airlines, in partnership with Lion Travel Group, announced that it would return to Guam after plans were derailed by Typhoon Mawar in May of 2023. The Starlux charter will arrive on January 30th on Guam, flying a 188-seat Airbus A321neo with a return flight to Taoyuan International Airport in Taiwan to depart on February 3rd. The airline originally planned a 5-day charter in April of 2023, and Lion Travel planned on opening an office at the Hyatt Regency Guam, but ceased flights after Typhoon Mawar. Reporting for the Marianas Business Journal, The Wave 105, and Power 98, I'm Skylar Obispo.
Treat yourself this holiday season with a festive holiday pie. Creamy custard in a buttery golden crust. Grab yours today only at McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Honey, it's our favorite time of year, and I got you something to celebrate.
A McRib! It's just what I wanted.
Happy McRib season, sweetie.
I love you.
I love you too.
Actually, I was talking to my McRib.
Oh, okay, well, I'll leave you two alone.
Celebrate McRib season with McDonald's. Enjoy the deliciously saucy McRib, only for a limited time and only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's.
I noticed you've been flipping the channels looking for a place to land on. Well, I'm here at 105.1 The Wave. I'll make you laugh, maybe cry, but you're gonna hear everything to get you through your morning. Mornings with Patty. You don't have to listen to me, but I think you're gonna want to.
Mornings with Patty on the Wave 105 is brought to you by GTA, Chili's Bar and Grill, Bank Pacific, Subway, Sherwin-Williams Paint, Take Care Insurance, and Pat's Denting and Detailing.
The charm and history of Italian food is expressed at Vitali's Italian Restaurant with signature dishes, the tour of Italy, spaghetti carbonara, linguine clam, and delightful pizza with red and white wine to pair nicely with your appetizer of choice. So dine in and enjoy the taste of Italy at Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Open Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 a.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Vitali's Italian Restaurant located in the heart of Tumon.
Happy holidays from Wave 105 FM. Stay tuned and when prompted, be the first to answer our stocking stuffer trivia question. And you get to choose a stocking. Best part is you get to take home whatever's inside it too. Stay tuned and win big this holiday season. Your Wave 105 stocking stuffers are brought to you by Burger King, Lotte Hotel, TGI Fridays, the Guam Reef Hotel, KFC, the Riga Royal Laguna Guam Resort, Manang Picas, and the station bringing you the holiday sound of Guam, Wave 105 FM.
Merry Christmas!
One pill can kill. Fake pills often contain fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl equivalent to a few grains of salt to be lethal. Fake pills are often sold on social media platforms, making them available to anyone with a smartphone.
Talk early and often to youth about the dangers of misusing prescription drugs and the lethal dangers of counterfeit drugs laced with fentanyl.
Stay informed, stay safe. One pill can kill.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the radio stations of Glimpses Media Group, Wave 105 FM, and Power 98.
Well, bless my biscuits. The holidays are here, and KFC's got just what you need to make them finger-licking festive. Our new KFC Holiday Feast, packed with 12 pieces of my world-famous fried chicken, hearty sides, and fluffy biscuits. And here's the kicker. You'll get a glass casserole dish with your KFC Holiday Feast. Hosting a smaller gathering, our 6-piece holiday meal is just as delicious and perfect for cozy celebrations. This holiday season, take a break. Let KFC do the cooking while you enjoy the loving. KFC, it's finger-licking good for the holidays.
Hafa, this is Melvin Wampat Borja. I'm the Executive Director from the Commission on Decolonization, and I'd like to invite you to join us every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to noon for Challenge the Status Quo, where we will explore conversations around decolonization, political self-determination, and Guam's political status on Wave 105.1 FM.
Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside. Heavy traffic on Route 1 into Munning north and southbound at the intersection that leads to Route 14 or near the ITC building. Slow traffic on Route 1 into Munning at the intersection north and southbound at the intersection near the John F. Kennedy High School. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Upper Tumon northbound if you're heading to the intersection that leads to Route 14. Slow traffic on Route 3 in Dededo if you're passing the GRMC Hospital heading to the intersection on Route 1. Now for your traffic advisory for the week from tomorrow, Thursday, December 19th to Friday, December 20th between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14, Challenge San Antonio into Munning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Hafa Day and welcome back. I am Melissa Savares, Mayor of Dedido, but I'm covering for the Brightside for Polly, who's actually covering for Patty in the mornings. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Isa, for producing for me. You make things very easy.
Thank you, too.
And so I've been talking about literacy and what can we do for Christmas for young children. And right now I have Ezra Blas, who's a second grade teacher at D.L. Perez Elementary School in Jigo. And Ezra actually wrote a book as part of a class project with Dr. Claire Camacho from the University of Guam, Kiko, Anna, and the Fire-Breathing Dragons. And so, Ezra, I know this was a class project that Dr. Camacho had you guys doing, but I mean, what inspired you to talk about Kiko and Anna and their fire-breathing dragons?
Well, the whole story started at, as a class project, and Dr. Claire Camacho wanted us to make it a local story. So I remember presenting it to the class, and she was like, what does dragons have to do with local voices and everything? And I was like, just be quiet and listen to my story, Dr. Claire. You'll get there eventually. But it's inspired by my upbringing at my grandparents' ranch in Jotnia. Kiko's actually the name of one of my cousins. Anna's also one of my female cousins. So I just felt like their names were pretty Chamorro. And it talks about like being at the ranch and your imagination as you play like different like how crazy children's imagination can be.
Of course. Yeah. And the imagination of children go wild. Earlier, the hour before, I was talking to Mayor Hoffman, and what he does is in his camp, he'll put a blanket and a box and see what each group can come up and what idea they can come up. And it's just wild, right?
Like seeing what they can do.
Yes, yes. So, just like being at the ranch, like you said, I'm looking at this, they're even making godzeria.
Yes.
Right? And so that's something that you did at the ranch, right?
Yes, and we did have the book. Some words are in Chamorro, and we had that translated by a Chamorro teacher at my school, so just to make sure that spelling and everything was correct. But the book is very special to me because it brings me back to like a memory I had as a child where I had tried to catch a baby chicken in an Easter egg, and the mother hen was not happy with me, and she chased me around. And that's kind of where the comparison to fire-breathing dragons comes from. So I feel like you have to see it to kind of understand. But at the end of the book, I know a spoiler alert. The dragons that the kids see turn out to be just roosters that have been chasing them around the ranch. And so Dr. Claire really enjoyed that that ending to the story so much that she asked to publish my book. And it took a while to get it published, almost 4 years for it to be published. But it's like just so crazy to see it like put into like paper and holding it all the time. And I love when I get to show it to my students and they're surprised at the end of the story, like, what does a dragon have to do with Guam and playing at the ranch? Like, that's the fun of the story.
Yes, it is. And going back to your tata, he rescued you at the end.
Yeah.
Because he even through the Zori at the
through the Zori, that's exactly how it was at the ranch. Well, actually my papa was a jokester, so I think he was the one that told me to catch the baby chick in the Easter egg. So I just thought that would be fun to include and everything.
And then even the gatlagu, the dog.
Yeah, we have gatlagu.
You had the gatlagu.
We have some of the colors listed in Chamorro. We have like atalong and agaga.
Yes.
So.
And you incorporated that through your imagination as a child, right?
Yes.
And then you bring that to your classroom. And how do the children react when you read this story to them? And are they excited? Of course, you teach second graders, but it's not just the second graders that you're reading this story to, right?
I have read it to like kindergarten, first grade. I've even read it up to 5th graders at Guam and at Maria Joa. It was a whole school event that I read to. But the kids are so excited to see the book, and they can see an author. Like, this is someone that they know.
Yes.
Like someone that's on Guam that they can kind of relate to. Like, they see the ranch, they see, oh wow, I have a family ranch too. Right. I see roosters outside my house.
Yes.
So they get excited, like, wow, I can put my ideas down and create my own stories.
Right. And so, that's what we're talking about, is you as an educator are working with the students in your classroom. And Dr. Claire did this with you while you were at the university. Yes. But just you doing it with your elementary students, and you see how their imagination just runs. Yes. Right? And then so if their imagination's running that way, then you take it, you teach them how to put it in writing. And even if it's just them drawing it, right? I remember kindergarten, they don't know how to spell, but they can draw,
the pictures.
Right? And that was important. And so, things like this, parents, aunties and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, what am I going to get for Junior or Anna, right? Because it's Christmas and they have they don't need toys all the time, right?
Oh, yes,
definitely.
definitely.
And you have Braden. Braden is in first grade now?
First grade.
And so, if you have another truck that comes to your house, because that's what they got him for Christmas, I mean, having a book that was written by somebody here, one of the, is going to be treasured, because he's going to have that book till he becomes an adult, right?
Yes.
I remember my children back in the early 90s or the late 1980s, Norman Bridwell. Do you know who Norman Bridwell is? He wrote Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
Yeah, so Clifford the Big Red Dog was written by Norman Bridwell, and I was part of the IRA, International Reading Association. So, with our teachers at our school at Maria Ujoa, and so we would go to, when they brought off-island authors in, I had the opportunity with my two sons at the time to pick up Norman Bridwell at the airport and take him to the hotel, and then the next day we were going to take him to IRA meeting where he could meet the teachers and all the members of the International Reading Association. But one of the things is when he went to do the school visits, he actually did, he had the easel with the sketch pad and he was drawing Clifford while he was telling the story. And the children were just in amaze, they were awing. And I still have autograph books like this, Clifford the Big Red Dog and Emily Elizabeth, and he autographed it. Today, it's been over 30 years, 30 years. I still have those autograph books for my children that were autographed by Norman Bridwell. But this is a memory that they're going to have forever and they can share with their children, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, and you're local. We don't have to bring you in an airplane. And you can go to another school. You went to Maria Ujoa, you went to Liguan Elementary, but you are a teacher at DL Paris.
Yes.
So we can just pull you from Zigu to come to Dedidu.
I use my admin leave.
And you were doing something to promote literacy, not only to your children, but to the children in our communities, right? And, I'm sure that they'll invite you to Malesu Martyrs Elementary School to see a northern author come. And so this is what I'm trying to instill, is that reading is for everybody, but most importantly, you're an educator. You're filling the minds and molding the minds of young children in our school system. And then you're looking at their imagination, and your imagination by writing Kiku Ana and the fire breathing dragons. They were really chickens, the roosters, right? But, it's reading the story and the imagination that you had at your Nana and Tata's ranch, right? And the imagination that your students will have. But this is a perfect gift
Yes.
for young people in the family. I mean, even for the family itself, right?
I've gifted it to all my like nieces and nephews, like my young ones especially, like when my cousins
Have their babies,
I'm
right?
like, okay, let me send them a book.
Yeah, and you autograph it, you know? We just got to put Blas at the end of Chan, right?
I know my students are in disbelief that it's really me half the time. They're like, you're not Ezra Chan. And I'm like, that was my last name when I wrote the book.
Yeah.
But now I'm married.
Yes, yes. And so, and that's why I wanted authors to come in, local authors, to show that we don't have to go to big shopping centers to get beautiful and expensive gifts. The gifts that we want to get are something that was created here with your imagination, and that can be a lifetime gift for the child that you're giving it to, because it's going to be there forever.
Yes.
Right? These kind of things you don't throw in the trash because they are outdated, right? Or we don't put aside because it's personal. You have their name in it, you signed it, and it's going to be with their family forever, right? And versus if they get a big thing, expense, maybe big trucks, the boys like to play with trucks. Does Brayden have a cement truck toy?
Oh no. We always discourage our family and friends from getting him so many toys because it creates so much clutter. He'll play with it, maybe for a month or something. Yeah. And then it just sits and kind of rots away. Then it's at Catholic Social Service by the next year.
Because you gift it to somebody later, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And so those are things, but if they gave him a book.
We put all our books in our bookshelf.
Yes, right.
Every book we've ever received, we've kept.
Yes.
We haven't donated any books. So.
Yeah. And so especially if it's written by somebody here, right? And then, you try to make it as local as you can, something that you remember as a child, and the imagination. So, and then we talked about literacy. We can read and read and read, but comprehension on what we're reading is also important, right? So by having these books, it's, having something that they can read over and over and then share their imagination on their interpretation of the book,
because
right?
It's a local book. They have more prior knowledge compared to like something that might be like in the fall or winter.
Right.
They might not be able to comprehend something like that because they've never experienced that. But a lot of my students, this is an easy story to grasp because they look outside, they see chickens, they see the ranch, they see,
the dogs.
They see the dogs.
Yeah.
These are all relatable things to them. So it's a little bit easier for them to comprehend.
Right.
So I think definitely getting more local voices out there, and what Dr. Claire was trying to do with publishing so many local authors. That was a great endeavor. I hope she still pursues it. I need to check in with her actually.
But Ezra, this doesn't mean that you're not going to write anything later in the future.
I always think about what I want to write again.
And and you've been teaching for more than 6 years?
Yeah. This is my 7th year.
See, so more than 6 years, 7 years, and you've seen the different things that your students go through. And so I'm sure that your imagination also can be a little more extended than the ranch, right? Than the Lancer. And just things that you pick up from what your children in your classroom do, but also incorporate something that Brayden was also, and you're going to have a baby soon. And so congratulations.
2 more months.
Yeah. So, but things like that you would want to document and make sure that it's going to be there where somebody, not just your children or not just your students, can pick up later in the years later and then read it. And then you can say, listen, let's read this story. Oh, I've heard this story before, but maybe the way that they they listen to it from the way it's read by somebody else might be different, right? Yeah. So continue to just gather your information, be inspired, not just by your students, but by your children. And, it took you 4 years to actually print, right? Yeah. But that is an inspiration to continue to do this. And I know, I've spoken to many teachers and, oh yeah, we've done this, and actually Dr. Claire Camacho's name came up on all those discussions. But, I thank her. I know that other educators, other professors continue to encourage students because we have talents here on Guam. And, I was listening to Paulie this morning, how he says, even our young people in our school systems that are making items from trash, right? They're repurposing. I don't believe in trash because it should be repurposed to do something else. One man's trash is another's treasure, right? And I like repurposed things. So I'm sure that you will continue, because this is an inspiration to your students to use their imagination, write short stories, and even short stories together can be put in a compilation. A compilation of short stories to be put together, and that will be treasured for a long, long time. But, thank you, and Merry Christmas, because this is, if they want to buy a book, would they go to a website or to a store?
I'll have to get back to you on that. Last I heard, Dr. Claire was selling them at SIFA, but I'm not too sure if she still is.
Has inventory?
Yeah. So, and I know our website is down right now.
Okay. Yeah, so, if anybody wants to get a book, we can email, give a website. You said the website's down.
The website is
down. We can find out later and get that information to the listening audience. But, I really am inspired by teachers that work with young children and continue to use your experience and your talents, because you're very, very talented. And like I said, you're authors that are here that we don't need to fly in from anywhere and just drive down the street and we're able to touch the young lives of other children in other schools, right?
Well, I'm lucky at my school. We have 4 published authors by Dr. Claire. So,
nice.
We rotate presenting to the students.
Yeah.
Between the 4 of us.
Yeah, I remember. The library day. We had a library. Remember the library thing at Maria Ujoa?
Yes.
And I met you there because Miss Gentapanan had actually brought some authors.
Oh yes, that was when I had presented.
Right. Yeah. So that was really nice to see other published authors come into the library. But I always say that this is a great gift for children or for families, because I would love to keep reading and with the young children. So thank you for coming in, and Merry Christmas, Ezra, because I know that you're doing well in your school and you're molding and mentoring young people in your classrooms. Okay? Thank you so much for being with us.
Happy
and
holidays.
We'll take a break right now and see you at the other end of the hour. Okay?
KGUM FM, Agutnya, Guam. The sound of Guam is Wave 105 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Wallace. A grand jury in Manhattan has indicted Luigi Mangione, the alleged killer of United Healthcare CEO, on 11 counts.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg had a press conference with the NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch, where they brought down a host of new charges, 11 counts, including first-degree murder, second-degree murder as part of a terrorism crime, multiple weapons charges, and the fraudulent document charge.
CBS's Anna Schechter says Mangione's mother had told detectives the shooting was something she could see him doing. Police are investigating a mass shooting in a normally quiet neighborhood in Towson, Maryland. CBS Baltimore reporter Kelsey Kushner is there.
They do know that there was some type of massive shootout that led to a fiery car crash outside of a local funeral home. We know that 10 victims were involved, 9 of them transported to a nearby hospital. One person has been confirmed dead, but still no word on who did this.
New research suggests vitamin D and calcium supplements do not help prevent falls and fractures in people over 60. Dr. Gautam Rao serves on the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force and is a professor of family medicine at Case Western Reserve University.
This does not mean that you shouldn't take vitamin D or calcium because it's important for overall health. That should continue. But we just didn't find that it was beneficial in preventing fractures or falls. That's the bottom line.
There's a new spending plan on the table to avert a government shutdown this weekend.
Congressional leaders have unveiled legislation that will keep the federal government funded through March 14th and provide more than $100 billion in emergency aid to help states and local communities recover from Hurricanes Helene and Milton and other natural disasters.
CBS's Jennifer Kuiper says Republicans are also pushing for billions in aid for farmers. At least 14 people have died in an earthquake in Vanuatu, northeast of Australia.
After the initial 7.3 magnitude quake, huge aftershocks have rocked Vanuatu.
We don't have water. We don't have electricity as well.
World Vision's Clement Chipakolo, who's in Vanuatu, just before a magnitude 6 quake cut communications. Australia is sending 3 aircraft with relief and supplies. More strong aftershocks are expected in coming days. Scott Mayman for CBS News, Canberra, Australia.
Some Palestinian families are suing the U.S. State Department, accusing it of circumventing U.S. human rights laws to support and fund Israel's military units accused of atrocities in Gaza and the West Bank. Those laws say the U.S. cannot provide military assistance to forces that commit gross violations of human rights. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
'Tis the season for giving, and gift cards are always a holiday favorite, but they've also attracted the attention of crafty criminals who intend to misuse them. So how can you buy gift cards with confidence? Follow these gift smart tips. Before you buy a gift card, look for rips, wrinkles, or any signs of tampering like pin scratch-offs that are damaged. If you notice tampering, choose another card, and always buy from trusted stores and brands. Keep your original receipt and only send gift cards via trackable shipping methods. Want more hashtag gift smart tips? Visit giftcardsafety.org.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by right now. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-750-2700. That's 800-750-2700. Call now to find out how much your case could be worth.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
A rap star is still having issues with her alleged ex, even though he is behind bars.
Rapper Megan Thee Stallion is asking a court to issue a restraining order against fellow rapper Tory Lanez.
I'm a savage.
He's serving a 10-year prison sentence for shooting her, but she says he's harassing her from prison through surrogates and third parties. The filing says bloggers acting on Lane's behalf continue to cast doubt on her allegations, making false claims including that the gun and bullet fragments in the case are missing. He received his prison sentence in 2022. Matt Piper, CBS News.
A huge merger may be in the works in the auto industry. Japan's Nikkei reports Honda and Nissan are getting ready to start talks. Neither automaker is confirming the report, but they are reiterating their previous pledges to cooperate together. They agreed earlier this year to collaborate on electric vehicle batteries and software. A Honda-Nissan merger would create a strong rival to Toyota. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Feeling good, getting things done. Wave 105 FM.
Good afternoon. It is 5:07 p.m. and that is your time check brought to you by Wendy's. Soft drinks are just $1 at Wendy's. Any size, anytime. Take a soft drink break anytime and get what you want at Wendy's. For a limited time only, excludes prepackaged beverages, sweet tea, unsweetened tea, coffee, cold brew, and Dave's Craft lemonades. Not valid in a combo.
Young surprise! I'm back on Wave 105. It's your girl Nene every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Catch your island music tidal wave with Nene. Brought to you by San Lorenzo Laundromat.
You are tuned into Wave 105.1 FM on the Brightside with guest host Mayor Melissa Savares from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can listen to us on our website, thewave105.com, or watch us live on YouTube, Wave 105 Guam. If you want to reach us on the line, please call us at 671-922-1051 or 1052. You can also text us on WhatsApp at 671-922-1051. The Brightside is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. GTA, we start with you. Subway, eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at subwaypacific.com for pickup at your convenience or for delivery right at your doorstep. Online ordering at subwaypacific.com is powered by Good to Go, we deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh. Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Craving Italian? Swing by Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Dive into our super pizza, enjoy creamy spaghetti carbonara, or savor the rich fettuccine alfredo. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Taste the best of Italy today at Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Now it's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside. Slow traffic on Route 4 in Talafofo by the Surfside Beach. Slow traffic on Route 10 in Chalampago if you're heading to the intersection that leads to Route 4 or if you're heading to Zotnia. Slow traffic on Route 15 Dairy Road and Pagat Route in Manila if you're heading to the intersection near the Santa Teresita Church. Heavy traffic on Route 8 in Barragata if you're passing the flower shop, heading to the intersection near the fire station. Slow traffic on Route 16 if you're coming down from the overpass, and Route 27 if you're heading to the intersection near the Harmon McDonald's restaurant. Slow traffic on Route 3 in Dededo if you're passing the GRMC hospital, heading to the intersection on Route 1. Heavy traffic on Route 1 northbound in Dededo if you're passing the South Challen Henry Kaiser Street, heading to the intersection that leads to Route 26 Machechi Avenue. And now for your traffic advisory for the week from tomorrow, Thursday, December 19th to Friday, December 20th between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14B and on the sidewalk into Manning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Okay, Hafa day again. Thank you and welcome back to The Brightside. I am Mayor Melissa Savares, filling in for Polly Subit this afternoon. And it's been a pleasure talking to different authors and inspirational people in the community that have written children's books or children's reading material, that comic books from Mr. Labrador, and Ezra Blas wrote a short story about Kiku, Anna, and the fire-breathing dragon here when she was at the University of Guam. And so she, along with other authors, other educators, wrote books. And like I had explained to her earlier, I said, back in 30 years ago, we were bringing authors from who wrote children's literature, children's books, from the States to give inspire the teachers here and our young children, and doing autographs with them. But now we have so many authors here just within our island, and who've inspired many young children. And they're actually in the education system. They work for the Guam Department of Education. And, the books that they're writing are stuff that they can use for all age groups. And, so we talked about Christmas and what do we give to children for Christmas? A book that they can read over and over again, maybe even do a book report on, is something that can be given to them. Activities, going to the library and checking out books, for the families that are not quite sure what we're going to do with our children when they're home for 2 weeks during Christmas break, and what kind of activities can we do. But, there's so many activities that can be done as a family, not just watching TV and playing on our phones and playing our games, or just using our devices as babysitting services, right? While we're trying to entertain our children. There's many ways: taking them to the beach, taking them to our parks, interacting, playing sports with them, kicking balls around, throwing balls, going swimming. Our swimming pool with the Department of Parks and Recreation over at the sports complex is available with very minimal charge of $2 to get in per person. But, those are different activities that can be done. But what I'm trying to promote is really the literacy that can happen in our public libraries, as well as our the reading material that we have. Families can go in and check in books if they don't own a book, and book tradings. I know of many people that want to trade books just so that they can read someone else's a book that they have in somebody else's library. And what's important is a lot of our young people have autograph books, from these young authors, from our authors within our school system. And those are great gifts to give to our young children, or actually a family, as a Christmas gift. Another thing that we discussed is what can we do for those less fortunate. What can we help someone that is in need? How can we help them? What can we give them to support their needs in the community? And if it's food or water or hygiene, toiletries that they can use is something that is really, really needed by the individuals, then if you have some change to spare, let's spare that to get something for someone that you can share who is in need. And we have a caller, Miss Juanita from Island Girl Power. Hafa day, Juanita. Thank you for calling the Brightside.
Hafa day. It's good to hear you on the radio, Mayor.
Thank you, Juanita.
I just wanted to, chime in. Over at our thrift store, Corazon is saying right down the road.
Right.
We have, taken literacy extremely seriously. When children come in with their parents, we let the kids pick books for free. And our volunteers, no matter the age of the volunteers, it's kind of like their own library. They can get 5 books when they're done reading it, bring it back, get another 5 books. The only time they have to pay for a book is if they're going to give it as a gift, right?
Uh-huh.
And then we're partners with, right now it's through Untalan Middle School, but it's a We Read literacy program.
Uh-huh.
And we're providing 5,000 books to Untalan Middle School, and they're hoping to expand that if this pilot program goes well into other schools next year.
Wow. So the 5,000 books are books that are in inventory at the Island Girl Power?
Oh, more. We have way more than that.
Of course.
The books that we're giving to Untalan Middle School as part of the grant, because we're getting some compensation for it, but it's like, 4 books, 5 books for $1 or something.
Oh, great.
But they're children's books. And so we, because there's different literacy levels.
Right.
So there's books from like maybe 2nd grade level up through high school, what is it called? Honors level.
Uh-huh.
So no matter what level of reading the young person has, there's going to be books in that library. And it's the We Read program. Every child in Untalan Middle School will be able to pick, I think it's either 4 or 5 books to take home with them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and so they get to keep the books, and that's one thing that's really so important. We can't get kids to appreciate libraries if they don't have that first experience of reading and enjoying reading. Like my niece, we love reading in the house, but it took a book about bugs and animals to get her excited.
Yeah.
You just never know what the kids are going to be interested in.
Right. And so, we talked about the interest and the imagination of the children, right? So, trying to grasp what is going through their mind and how can we entertain them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me.
They're entertained so much nowadays by the Korean dramas or just
technology. Technology has
relationship dramas if they're watching anything on TV. And so we're trying to show them that books can keep them excited, and it doesn't have to be about a relationship. It's about other kinds of adventures.
Yeah, nature. And we have legends, right? Different cultural activities, whether it be going to fish or going to the ranch, right?
Yeah.
To pick Bilimbines.
Yes,
right?
The Pacific Islanders were more attuned to learning by watching, watching our grandma cook and our uncle, farm. If we're in those environments, we pick it up very fast.
Right.
But there's something that you gain from turning the pages of a book that you can't get no matter how, Kindle or whatever those apps to have a book on the computer.
Yeah.
It's not the same as turning the pages of a book.
Yeah. And then
So I really
feeling
appreciate you bringing this up
right.
because I've come across so many high school students and adults that can't read.
Or if they're reading, they're not understanding. Comprehension has a big part,
Comprehension
right?
is for,
Yeah. So,
and so God bless them, I mean, traversing the world and not being able to comprehend what's out there and what's being put on, even job applications is a struggle. And
Absolutely.
so as a community organization, we feel exactly like you do. We got to get more people reading.
Right. And I bring up literacy because it's Christmas and everybody's saying, well, what are you going to get, Junior and Anna for Christmas? And, something that I still have in my home are books that my children received or even we bought when they were even before elementary, and those things are treasured because their children are now reading it, and we share with others, when they come. They're not watching TV. They're picking up Norman Bridwell's Clifford the Big Red Dog back then that they had from 30 years ago and reading that, or...
Yeah, and the books nowadays, a lot of the times you're hard-pressed to find books that have a moral to the story.
Right.
I mean, we grew up with books that, there was always some lesson or some big, surprise twist and turn that ended up being positive.
Right.
Instead, there's a lot of books that out there that are just so super negative and draw kids into bad, unhealthy, risky behaviors. And so, yeah, we really have to be careful what we put them in front of because the stories that they're watching on their social media, so much junk going into the kids' head.
Yeah. So, and that's why I said it's important that we, parents, we do it as a family unit, right? We don't just send the kids into the store to go buy what they want for dinner. We go in there as a family and choose things. And the same thing with choosing the books that they're reading is that, we make sure it's appropriate, and it's going to be beneficial, right, to them. Even if it's a story, of somebody's experience, make sure that it's going to, we talk about vices, right? Being drug, alcohol, and tobacco-free citizens. But at the same time, we need to know about respect, right? Yep. So it's all those concepts put in together and is what's going to create the child to be that young adult, so their guidance. And it's important.
You feel for the kids that their parents are in recovery, because whether or not the community is providing or they're looking at videos or whatever about drugs and alcohol, sometimes it's closer to home. And so for those kids, they'd like to just see what life is like without it because they have parents that are in recovery. So all they see is drugs and alcohol.
Well, I've seen some children who were raised in a setting, but they turned out to be, because they knew they made the right choices not to follow that direction.
Same as I think most of us.
Yes.
We've seen all the negative sides, and we chose to do the positive thing and be a contributing member of the community. Yeah. And so, I like a lot of the books that we have because they are older books.
Right.
But they have those moral to the story and, a lesson in there somewhere.
Right.
And, the books before used to have a lot of respect for elders.
Yes. Yes.
And nowadays, none of the cartoons have any respect for the elders or their parents.
Yeah, and because we're watching TikTok.
Yeah, we're watching it as a parent now and like, wow.
Well, not all TikTok is bad, but you know what? We need to instill the respect, right? Because that is still part of our culture. And so that's why I'm inspired by these young educators. I mean, inspired by everybody, because everybody in one way or another it influences that, right? Influences the activities in the communities. They influence the discussions at home, and then it influences the upbringing of the child, right? So, whether it be faith-based or something, just a traditional event in the home, we need to remember that the prime thing is to respect each other and communicate respectfully, and then also the guidance, because if we don't provide them with the proper tools and mechanisms, then they stray away, right?
Yeah, we've seen what can happen to people when they were children and they didn't get the proper attention. But yeah, like you, I've seen students that come through so much adversity, so much family violence, sexual assault, all sorts of bad things, and they just come out and they're ready to help others.
Right. Yeah, and so because in one time or another in there, despite all the negative that's happened, there was one person that made a difference, and they chose to follow the positive side, right? So
thank you again, Mayor. I know you didn't go for a re-election, and I just wanted to catch you while you're on the air and say thank you for so many years of helping our organization and community to do the right thing and to support the youth program. I really appreciate you, and I just wanted to, because you don't like the attention, so I'm giving it to you right now.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you for that. Yeah. Okay. And God bless you, and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Christmas.
Thank you. So we're going to take a break at this time, and then we'll come back on the other side of the break to just talk about positive things that we make happen in the community. Thank you.
A rap star is still having issues with her alleged ex, even though he is behind bars.
Rapper Megan Thee Stallion is asking a court to issue a restraining order against fellow rapper Tory Lanez.
I'm a savage.
He's serving a 10-year prison sentence for shooting her, but she says he's harassing her from prison through surrogates and third parties. The filing says bloggers acting on Lane's behalf continue to cast doubt on her allegations, making false claims including that the gun and bullet fragments in the case are missing. He received his prison sentence in 2022. Matt Piper, CBS News.
A huge merger may be in the works in the auto industry. Japan's Nikkei reports Honda and Nissan are getting ready to start talks. Neither automaker is confirming the report, but they are reiterating their previous pledges to cooperate together. They agreed earlier this year to collaborate on electric vehicle batteries and software. A Honda-Nissan merger would create a strong rival to Toyota. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, what's going on, Guam? Dicey Dice here, and I'm inviting you to join me on Power 98 Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. all the way to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We are covering anything and everything from entertainment, headlines. We are doing sports, giveaways, and more. And don't forget, the show is all being brought to you by Riga Royal Laguna Guam Resort, McDonald's. I'm loving it. Shouts out going out to Vitali's Italian Restaurant, Wise Owl Animal Hospital, Lotte Hotel, and Golf Espresso. Rolling with dice in the middays, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock on Power 98 FM.
Looking for an exciting career? We have fantastic opportunities for you. Join our team and work at leading brands like Coca-Cola, Subway, Chili's Grill and Bar, Cinnabon, Glimpses of Guam, and Good to Go. Whether you're interested in customer service, management, or marketing, we have roles that fit your passion. Visit www.glimpsesofguam.com to explore career openings and start your journey with us today.
Start your day right with Mornings with Patty Arroyo every weekday morning from 6 to 10 a.m. Then meet me, Paulie Suba, in your afternoon on the Brightside. Ride the wave with us on your radio at 105.1 FM or stream us 24/7 at thewave105.com. The sound of Guam is Wave 105.1 FM.
Chili's wants to help you celebrate this holiday season with a gift for everyone. Purchase a $50 gift card at Chili's and receive a $10 coupon for yourself. Give a gift, get a gift. At Chili's, great value and memories happen here.
Happy holidays from Wave 105 FM. Stay tuned and when prompted, be the first to answer our stocking stuffer trivia question. And you get to choose a stocking. Best part is you get to take home whatever's inside it too. Stay tuned and win big this holiday season. Your Wave 105 stocking stuffers are brought to you by Burger King, Lotte Hotel, TGI Fridays, the Guam Reef Hotel, KFC, the Riga Royal Laguna Guam Resort, Manang Picas, and the station bringing you the holiday sound of Guam, Wave 105 FM.
Merry Christmas!
Hi, I'm Silas, and I'm 10 years old. Man, things are crazy these days. Why can't it be like 10 years ago? The milk was good, everyone carried me everywhere, and the music was awesome. Maybe milk's $12 a gallon now, and nobody can lift me. But we can bring the music back.
Oh, you wanted it, and now you got it. All the hits from the 2000s back on the radio. Every afternoon starting at noon with Maximum Millennium. Maximum Millennium, only here on the Sound of Guam, Wave 105.1 FM. Hafa Day, everybody, it's me, Kyle Mandapat.
Hafa Day, it's Reese.
And we want you to tune into the Morning Blender every single day.
That's right, there's a lot of things to do. Parties, birthdays to celebrate, songs to play, and of course some horoscopes if you're trying to find out about your day.
And plenty of free stuff too.
That's right, all the free food and so much more.
So tune in to the Morning Blender weekday 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. right here on
Power 98.
Presented by Burger King,
Agania Shopping Center,
Subway,
Pat's Tinting and Detailing,
and Chili's.
Young surprise! I'm back on Wave 105. It's your girl Nene every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Catch your island music tidal wave with Nene. Brought to you by San Lorenzo Laundromat.
One pill can kill. Fake pills often contain fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl, equivalent to a few grains of salt, to be lethal. Fake pills are often sold on social media platforms, making them available to anyone with a smartphone.
Talk early and often to youth about the dangers of misusing prescription drugs and the lethal dangers of counterfeit drugs laced with fentanyl.
Stay informed, stay safe. One pill can kill.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the radio stations of Glimpses Media Group, Wave 105 FM and Power 98.
Hafa Day, Guam, Johnny Atulai here, inviting you to tune in to Vet Talk Show every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the wave of conversation where Miss Bobby and I address veterans' concerns and benefits for you, only on Wave 105.1 FM.
Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the Brightside. Slow traffic on Route 4 in Chalampago at the intersection that leads to Maimai Road. Slow traffic on Route 4 in Chalampago and Route 10 if you're heading to the intersection that leads to Zonya. Heavy traffic on Route 4 in Sinahania if you're coming from Hagatnya, heading to the intersection near the Central Precinct. Slow traffic on Route 4 and 33 at the intersection near the Agania Library. Slow traffic on Route 1 in Hagatnya if you're coming from you're passing the KFC restaurant heading northbound to the intersection near the Agania Boat Basin. Slow traffic on Route 1 to Munning north and southbound at the intersection that leads to Route 30. Heavy traffic on Route 1 to Munning north and southbound at the intersection that leads to Route 14 or near the ITC building. Heavy traffic on Route 1 to Munning if you're coming from the intersection that leads to Route 14B, heading northbound to the intersection that leads to Route 10A. Heavy traffic on Route 10A into Munning if you're coming from the intersection on Route 1, heading to the intersection in front of the Guam Airport. Heavy traffic on Route 1 to Munning northbound if you're passing the Skyline Lane Road, heading northbound to the intersection near the GTA office in Upper Tumon. Let's see here. There's more traffic. Here we go. Heavy traffic on Route 1 if you're coming from the intersection that leads to Route 14 in Upper Tumon, heading northbound to the intersection that leads to Route 16 or near the Dededo Wendy's restaurant. Slow traffic on Route 3 in Dededo if you're passing the GRMC hospital, heading to the intersection on Route 1. Heavy traffic on Route 1 in Dededo northbound if you're coming from the intersection that leads to Route 3, heading to the intersection that leads to Machechi Avenue, Route 26. And now for your traffic advisory for the week from tomorrow, Thursday, December 19th to Friday, December 20th between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14, Challenge San Antonio into Munning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your last real deal traffic report here on the Brightside.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Hafa Day and welcome back. I am Mayor Melissa Savares, filling in for Polly Sub on the Brightside. Welcome back to the show. We're talking all day, all afternoon about literacy and children's books, and we had two authors in here talking about the books that they wrote and what inspired them. And I also talked with Mayor Hoffman about the creativity and the imagination of children and families and how we can give back to the people that are around us, the people that we love. We talked about gifts, Christmas coming up. What kind of gifts are we looking at giving to our young people or family members? And, with having the authors in here, made me feel that reading is very important to all members of the families and of our family, and having books in our homes where our children can read, or even the adults, is important, because even to fill out an application, you need to read the application so you know what to put in it. And literacy is not just about reading, but also understanding what we're reading. And where can we find books if we don't have books at home? The libraries, the public libraries are open. I know in particular the Navis Flores Memorial Library in Agutnia is open 6 days a week. In Dededo, our Dededo Library has open 5 days a week. Usually from 9 to 6, 9 in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening, or 5 o'clock in the evening. And so families, we've seen, like during the summer, We've seen a lot of families come in to read books, and then they check out books, and then they come back the following week to return and then check out more books. And it's important when they do this as a family unit because it shows that the expression of families wanting to learn more, whether it be storybooks or books written by authors here, local authors that were inspired by creativity or imaginations here. A lot of them are fiction, so they're just stories, and just through the imagination of experiences with Mr. Labrador with his comic book. It's the imagination, the dream that he had to talk about warriors, the Aniti gatherings, the warriors, the different warriors of the past, and through the legends of his pictures and his the legends of our islands, and then the creation of the comic series. He talks about the Taga rocks, the lattes, the coconut mug, the coconut crab. Also, different stories about our legends of Guam, and he uses our heroes, our legend heroes, to depict the characters in this comic book. So he even brought up one of the chapters, one of the stories that he has is about the Surahanas and how his mom inspired him for that story because she was in a Surahana in the traditional healing. Then we had Ezra Blas, who wrote a book as part of her work, her learning at the University of Guam, her class, under the direction the professor, Dr. Claire Camacho, with a class project on. Her book was on Kiku Ana and the fire-breathing dragon, and it was an imagination taking her back to her past, where she would go to the ranch, her grandpa's, Nana and Tata's ranch, and of course, tried to keep it as culturally connected, where she depicted things that they did at Nana and Tata's ranch, and the fire-breathing dragon chasing them. And really, through the fire-breathing dragon was through her imagination. And it was really, at the end of the book, you found out that the story, that it was really just the chickens, the roosters and the hens, chasing them at the lansu. And so those are the imaginations and creativity of our authors that share their stories with their readers. And we talk, being Christmas, we think of things that we can do, not only because the children are going to be home for 2 weeks and we need to entertain them, but also gifts that we can give to our children as part of their Christmas gifts. And books, reading material, an activity gifts are good for the children. Board games are good for them too. We have board games that were the Chamorro board game. We always say chanka, right? That's with the board and the shell. And, we play that antes, right? In Chamorro classes, they taught us how to play chanka. And so board games are also good because it increases the skills of our young children. And so, I'm not, Christmas, I won't be here right before Christmas. This is a show that I would do before Christmas. And so I just want to wish our communities a very Merry Christmas and actually remind families Christmas is a time to remember our families, those that cannot be with us, but also celebrate and spend time with families that you are close to, your loved ones, your parents, your grandparents. If you have grandparents that are still around, your sinas, it's important to reflect on the times that they've given to you and in raising you, but also reflecting on the quality time that we used to spend before all of our schedules got busy with everybody working and going to school. The sinas are very important to spend time, because you don't know how much time they have left on this earth. But it's important to the family connections during this holiday season is critical to in reflecting and respecting each other and having peace with one another as we reflect on and celebrate the holidays. And also be very safe in all your activities that you partake in, as people get anxious because they want to rush from one event to another, or anxious because we're still doing our last minute Christmas shopping. But we have to remember the importance of the celebration is keeping everyone safe, doing things that reflect on the celebration of Christmas, the birth of Christ, and the reason for the season that we're celebrating. And the gift of your presence, it's not the gift giving, but or receiving, it's the gift of being present with one another. And that's what's important this holiday season. It's we're all involved in different things, whether it be through work or through community engagement, but reflection on having peace, respect, and culturally really is presenting ourselves to forgiveness. If anybody has hurt you, find ways to forgive them. And if you can't, then pray for each other. Because I know this is a tough time where we have also families that are maybe in need of things, services, food, and then, making time to spend with people. And we do have a caller, Mr. Joe Maulik. Hafa day, buenas.
Buenas.
Buenas, sir.
No, yeah, Mayor.
Ungen.
Very coincidence, no. Right, just about 5 minutes ago, my grandson came to the house and gave me my present.
Oh.
And guess what?
What was it?
My hockey shoes.
Oh. At least he wants you to be comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable in your bahaki?
Oh, brand new shoes.
Oh.
And he came up here, he said, Papa, here's your hockey shoes. The brand new shoes.
Wow.
And he wants me to show away my the one I was using for the run.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he told me, well, Papa, throw that away. Here's your brand new shoes. Merry Christmas. Man, son.
At least.
You're waiting until Christmas.
No, he wants you to wear it now. So by the time Christmas comes, Joe Maulik, it'll really be bahaki because you already broke it in, right?
Yeah, I told him, I said, little bit short, but I'll wear it for several days and that will break it in and I'll get used to it.
Yeah, stretch it a little bit so by Christmas it won't be short anymore, right?
No, I cut off the tip of it. So my toes can penetrate. But it's fine. I tried it on and he told me to try it so that you don't feel my feet. You have to take it back and get another one.
But you know what the saying is? Even if it doesn't fit, it's the thought that counts, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So at least you know your grandson thought about you.
I just got back from a medical appointment. He woke me up and, Papa, you should appreciate your balcony.
Very good. Yeah, you have a good grandson. You raised him right. Right?
Oh, yeah. He's working for the fire department.
Okay. That's good.
And I still got some back in Washington and expecting them to show up for the Christmas. Instead of Washington, so hopefully they'll bring some...
Someone? Someone?
something from Santa Claus.
But you know what? If they come, it's the gift of presents. Their presence is going to be with you, right?
Yeah.
That's enough.
I don't need any other present, just for them to come.
Just for them
and show
to be
up.
there, yes.
And we'll celebrate. We will go to the restaurant.
No, go to the ranch. That's more
Go
so
to
you
the
can wear
ranch.
your bahaki.
No,
Right.
my grandson in Washington, I told him because he called me up, I think it was last week. He asked me to, I told him to go fishing with me. Picking.
Yeah. What are you going to catch?
He's really excited because he wants to try the Tekken again.
Because they cannot
not
Tekken.
unreal.
They cannot Tekken in Washington, eh?
You have to, and even if you're going to use another room, you have to get a
Permit.
license.
You have to get a license. Yeah, permit. Yeah.
And my other granddaughter is supposed to be here for Christmas vacation from going to Idaho University. Should be here pretty soon. And he said, Papa, I'm not going to let you know when. What a surprise. Oh my goodness.
At least they're coming back to celebrate with you, right?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, that's all we want them, to see them because they've been, my grandson in Washington, he's been gone for 3 years, maybe 4. But the parents are also excited.
Sometimes, but they come to see you too, so not just the parents, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a
why
good
they
Christmas
always call
present.
me. Say, well, how am I doing? And how's the ranch? With my grandson in Washington, I told him, I said, you better hurry up, come and feed the animal at the ranch. And he said, Papa, you still raising pigs and chickens? Boy, I got a lot of pigs at the ranch.
Are they domestic pigs or are they your bablim halumtano?
The halumtano.
Halumtano, yeah.
Yeah, but pigs, one female can produce 9 or 15, so they multiply real fast.
Yes.
I took Polly down to show him the ranch and the pigs and the chicken. But my problem with the chicken and the ranch is the elite.
Ah, they're eating the eggs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good. Because the more chicken, the more feed I have to buy.
Adai. So,
mauli kasi Papa ilan to sa something for me to
keeps you occupied, right?
My boys tell me to keep me busy.
Yes.
And I bush card the ranch. And even my oldest son, he's about 57 years old now, told me to stop maintaining bush cutting the ranch, and said, boy, that's my exercise.
Yes, it keeps you going, right?
Yeah. And raising animals, keep your mind occupied.
Yeah, because they don't talk back to you, right? Okay, Joe Maulik, we're going to head out because news is going to be, and then Issa's got another program after this. Vet Talk is after this show, okay? So we're going to take a break, and you can call back tomorrow, okay, and talk to Mayor Alec tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Yes.
Hey, anyways, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Joe Maulik, and enjoy your grandchildren when they come from the States.
Oh,
Okay?
definitely. Oh.
Okay.
I'll be the proudest
Yes.
grandfather.
Okay, adios and Merry Christmas.
You understand?
Okay, Esther.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, adios. All right, Issa. So thank you, Issa, for being a great producer.
Thank you.
Today,
I appreciate that.
I thought I was going to be nervous, but you made it so easy just to.
Yes, that's how we want it. We want our guest host to always be comfortable.
And you know, the discussions were great. We had several callers that did call in, but you know, I did say to Polly and Patty, just let us know when they need fillers. We can only be fillers, but you know, and she did a really good schedule for the next few weeks. So thank you, and Merry Christmas to you, Issa, and your family, and everybody out there. Merry Christmas, Guam. All right.
Hafa Day, Guam, Johnny Atulai here, inviting you to tune in to Vet Talk Show every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the wave of conversation where Miss Bobby and I address veterans' concerns and benefits for you, only on Wave 105.1 FM.
Hafa Day, everybody. It's me, Kyle Mandapat.
Hafa Day, it's Reese.
And we want you to tune into the Morning Blender every single day.
That's right. There's a lot of things to do. Parties, birthdays to celebrate, songs to play, and of course some horoscopes if you're trying to find out about your day.
And plenty of free stuff, too.
That's right. All the free food and so much more.
So tune in to the Morning Blender weekday, 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. right here on
Power 98.
Presented by Burger King.
Again, you